Ding!
They exist, man. I think the dude's called Felix. He can get up to like 14,000 RPM.
That's pretty impressive.
It's
Whoever-
quite impressive. His bicep is like a freaking mountain.
Yeah, but is he
Yeah.
happy though?
Damn.
I mean,
Dunno,
probably.
You,
If I was the world Powerball champion, I'd be pretty happy.
you're really
Hmm.
probably more happy than
it'd
if
be
you
a
weren't.
hollow
really, aren't you?
victory. Is it
Well,
something
it
you
would
can
come
be
with its
champion
own set
in?
of hassles.
Of course, you can be champion.
Yeah, but like,
Also-
what is it you can? What is it you do? Do you like maintain momentum? Do you
You can
like
get it to high
go-
speed.
Yeah,
It's
the
like-
RPM you can.
Oh,
It also like exercises your wrists like any other muscles. So like,
Right.
imagine doing a shit ton of push-ups is more impressive than doing less. It
Okay.
stresses your arm.
Yeah.
and
Or
your
like being
wrist.
able to like bench like, I don't know, 1,000 kilograms or something.
1,000 kilograms.
1,000.
Otherwise, no fun. Is that 1,000 kilograms?
So-
Megagram?
It's a megagram, yeah.
Megagram.
That's way cooler.
Yeah.
Gigagram.
So,
Teragram.
who wants to do a recap of what happened last week when we played then? Because we've been on for like, I don't know, a couple of minutes now.
Oh, Powerball.
This has been
Powerball,
sponsored by Powerball.
No, it's not.
Ooh.
It could be though, Powerball, if you're watching.
Exercise your
Ding!
Or other
Um,
non-trademark infringing handheld gyroscopic hand
I
exercises.
think I just broke my Powerball, so please do
Did you
sponsor us.
actually?
I need a new
power,
one.
power sphere, Matt. Power sphere.
Yeah. Strength orb.
Strength forward.
Or
Gyroscopes are available.
Orb of strength.
Uh,
Orb of
so
Right,
Making
last
pros.
Muir, Rurek, and Raffin were on a bird. No, me and Rurek were on a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Raffin? And then we got laser beamed, kind of Dragon Ball style, out of the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah.
Got thrown off. Rurek got caught at the last minute by unknown magic bullshit. Some weird ground thingy. Muir almost died, but got caught at the last minute by Raffin. Broke her leg.
Passed out midair.
Yeah, then woke up
regained
again midair after
consciousness.
Rurek shouted at Muir.
Regained consciousness while falling.
Oh, it was the landslide, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
And I definitely dodged a landslide. That's kind of it, wasn't it?
We passed a skill check to like get our guys out of the way of the landslide.
yeah.
Combination of different cool stuff.
Yeah, everyone did something cool.
Darren ran really fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lida left.
Oh
mhm.
yeah. To the left, unfortunately.
So did Pela. So
Zorgar
Zorgar and Rurak had to figure out some food for the.
Oh yeah, they made like mushroom stroganoff or something.
Yeah. That was good. That was before all the other stuff we just talked about, but you know.
Important though.
Well, okay.
That was part of like it was like a flashback, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then we skipped up the current time.
Which is right now.
Yeah, so I owed Naren the diary he found. So now if I press show to Matt. No, not Niall. Matt. Make it so. Did that appear for you, Matt?
Oh, it did.
Oh.
Oh, did it? It did.
There you go. So yeah, you can
Oh,
read
right.
that at your leisure there. And is there any other stuff I'm gonna? No, I don't think so. So yeah, we pick up. I think where we had left off last week. Raffin and Rack and Muir had just arrived back. You guys were continuing up the mountainside away from one legion down the bottom, but there you'd seen another legion in the distance. The one you were expecting to kind of have a tussle with at some point. And Raffin and Muir and Burak had just arrived back, and Muir was kind of floating in and out of consciousness, I think. Is that right? Because her leg is a really unhealthy angle. And I think you had just turned her over into Ward's care. And Ward kind of has her. And he says, "What happened out there? How did she... Her leg's not supposed to look like that. I've read about it. That's not how it's supposed to look. It's bad for it. What's going on?"
Yeah. Well, we can fix her, but we just gotta get moving.
What are you talking about? She needs fixed now. Look at her
Okay.
leg.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Put her down then, and we'll sort her out.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay, Mia. He kind of holds her down.
All right. Ward, hold her hand. This might hurt a little for her. And I'm gonna grab at the top.
She's
of her
already
leg,
hurt her leg. Look at that. That leg looks
grab the
painful.
top of her leg and try and line it up, and then give the heels. Hopefully, get the bones all the right way they should be.
Sure. Okay. So what
Yeah.
kind of healing magic are you using?
Chiropractor.
I'll avoid lightning for now and do like a radiant sort of just like just pure healing if that's a thing that
Sure.
Rurik
Yeah.
can do.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, radiant healing's been an option this entire time, and you've been
Sure.
electrocuting us.
Rurik gets a little kick out of it every time.
So does whoever's getting zapped with lightning.
Yeah. That's one way to describe it.
Well, it distracts you from the pain, really, doesn't it? But yeah,
Sure.
sure. Just pure radiant healing, just trying to
Sure.
get bones fixed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Can you give us
What's
a
this?
medicine check?
Yeah.
To see how good a job you do of aligning things.
Okay. Medicine, and then a regular check. Oh, that wasn't good. 13.
13. Okay. So it's a stressful
Wall
scenario.
cracking.
Mhm.
You know, you kind of go slightly too far, and you have to kind of readjust. But you're like, that looks like how it's supposed to go. I feel confident enough with it. I'm gonna,
Giving her
Gonna do it?
scoliosis.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you're kind of you suffer more discomfort than you should, Muir. But eventually, there's a bit of like kind of like, no, I don't think it. No, back, and it goes back, and then
Ow, ow.
yeah, pretty much.
Mur probably wakes up and sees what Rook's doing and passes out again.
Sure. Ward's
Ow.
there as well. He's giving encouragement.
Don't worry about that. That's normal. Just
That's
keep
supposed to
going.
happen.
That's supposed to happen.
Hang on, something's gone weird with my audio now. God damn it.
Well,
Do
we
I
just
sound
lost
okay?
Finn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you sound
I'll deal with him in a minute.
He's back.
Okay. So, yeah, apologies. I don't know what the frick is going on with my thing. Like, it had absolutely no problems, and now all of a sudden it has all the problems. Even when I think I fixed the problems.
Yay, all the problems.
Yay, problems.
You get a problem.
Uh,
Jake, we were just talking. If Mira's arm is staying on with magnets, right?
Uh-huh.
Could Finn suggested that she could reverse the polarity? Could it be used as like a firing thing, just launch it at people?
Like a projectile.
Sure, yeah, you'd have to spend some time to make that modification, but I'm pretty sure you can do that, yeah?
Yay! And I also need to do the grappling hook at some point.
Mhm.
Because I keep forgetting that. And the ballista. I've still got ballista kicking about.
Built into your leg, arm?
No, it was supposed to be mounted on something, and I keep getting the ingredients for things and never making stuff.
Put it into your
I
leg.
forget what the movie is, but there's a western where this woman has a prosthetic leg and she hides a gun in it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know the one you're. Is that the one Johnny Depp's in?
Oh, is that the Lone Ranger?
Yeah.
That could have been it. Yeah. Put a gun in your leg.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Hmm.
Isn't that thing in Planet Terror as well? Well, I can know.
Don't know.
Okay, so where were we? Rurik was fixing Mir.
Hmm.
You adjust her, you have to kind of twist and push to get it, rotated back in the right way. And then, I don't know what Muir's reaction to that is. But, you do it. And you have to kind of go, and there's a bit of, you have to kind of grind it around until it slots in right. But you get it. And then you're healing her, is that right?
Yeah.
Sure, okay. What kind of healing you doing?
So we'll go with hang on, let's see what spells we've got. We'll do a second level cure wounds. So cure wounds at second level. There we go. Did it roll a dice?
You gotta press the healing button.
Oh, you have to press the healing button. Okay.
It should roll the
Normal.
dice. There you go.
There we go. Cool. 15 hit points.
Ooh, Nelly. Okay, where's my character sheet? Selected. Thank you.
That's all good.
Sure, okay.
28 or 39. I can live with that.
Yeah, so Muir, you have a bizarre 5 minutes. And you kind of come back to, and you can feel these kind of, I don't know, rough, kind of girthy hands around your legs, kind of possibly slightly clammy, I'm not really sure. And you can see Ward is kind of looking over you, kind of concerned. He says, Muir, you're okay? How do you feel? Are you dying? Is that yes? Is she dying?
Probably
No.
gonna go for a little snooze again.
She's fine.
She's
fine.
She's not awake.
Just carry her, let her rest. She's fine.
Okay.
She'll be back to normal soon.
Kind of picture is okay. Where's Naren and Zulka?
I'm gonna guess they're ahead. I thought you'd know, really.
He just turns and strides off, and he's pushing. Sorry, excuse me, pushing soldiers out the way, and kind of he's quite tall, so he kind of has big legs, and he kind of strides forward through the crowd, and you watch him disappear. What are you and Hrafen doing?
Kind of turn to Hrafen, turn to the army that's behind us, and maybe we should go. What do you think?
The soldiers all salute.
All right. Okay. Just start walking up the hill, I guess.
Sure,
Following
okay.
in steps of everybody else.
So Muir's passed out in Ward's arms. You guys are walking. Naren and Zorga, where are you guys in all this? You just leading from the front?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you see the big laser beam go off, and then you probably see Rurik and that land down, but kind of further behind where you guys are. Does that change your plans any, or are you just kind of continuing?
Do you think we should go back for them, or should we just keep going?
Is who of my are any of my elite four still here? Did I send them all to the new place?
That's a you question, really?
I think I sent at least 2 of them.
Sure.
I'll send 2 of them down to scout and no more to see if Rurik and you and Hrafen are alright.
Alright, sir. And they kind of head off. Then, kind of 5 minutes or so go by, and you can see Ward is kind of striding through the soldiers towards you. And he points, he says, Naren! Zulga! He's holding someone. And he's kind of...
Yes, Ward?
What you got there, buddy?
I am angry with you.
Why would that be?
Alright.
You very nearly just died. And if that had happened, then she would be gone. There would be no more Muir.
Okay.
And it's your fault. She wouldn't have nearly died if you hadn't brought us here.
Okay. Okay.
He seems uncomfortable being angry. He doesn't really know how to deal with it.
Is she okay?
I think so. Rurak did some magic. He made her light go back to looking like it should. You should apologize to her. She's asleep right now.
So later.
Kinda. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Your Naren and
uh,
your Naren and Zorka have something they want to say to you.
mm,
Go on.
Is she awake now?
I think so.
You okay?
mm.
She is not very conscious. I don't think she's ready.
Go back to sleep, Mew. It's all right. Okay. Well, if Mew was
Should get
here,
her to safety.
she's with me. She is safe. If Mew was awake, I would ask her to open up my cranial port and get a bit of my brain out so I could give you a piece of my mind. So let me just say, if anything like this ever happens to Muir again, I don't know what I'll do. It depends a lot on the circumstances, but you won't like it. You'll dislike it.
Surely, as long
A
as
lot.
you stay up by your logic, she'll never get harmed. So don't leave our side, and then don't blame us.
Well, sometimes she runs off. Don't deflect this.
We're doing everything we can to keep Muir safe. Muir is a capable person. That's why she's here with us, because she's a part of our party and she's a great asset to us. We wouldn't have brought her here if she wasn't useful.
Shouldn't really think of your friends as assets.
Well, everyone here is helping each other.
I guess so. But what are you gonna do to make sure she doesn't nearly die again?
We're already doing
You
as
don't
much as
seem
we can.
particularly bothered.
We're already doing as much as we can to make sure
What if she
that
had
anyone
died?
dies. Look, what we're doing is dangerous, and there's risks. But Muir has chosen to keep taking that risk. That's why she's here. She can choose to not take that risk anytime she wants.
Not really. She's got a bit of her soul as in you. Or a bit of your
She
soul.
can still make her own decisions.
Okay.
We're not forcing Muir to be here. She can leave if she wants to, but she's chosen to be here, so.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Don't like being angry, so I'm gonna stop being angry right now. But don't you forget what I said, because I mean,
Okay.
you gotta assume I gave you a bit of my brain. Cause,
Okay, I'll assume that.
Okay, because I can't do it myself. These are the things I need to make sure Muir's around for. Okay, I'm gonna go now. And he kind of walks off.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing? Are you just kind of, what is your overall plan? You're just gonna keep going?
Yeah,
Then
I'm
make
just
it to the
following the
forest.
crowd. So wherever Naren and Zorgar are leading, Rurak is following suit, kind of in the middle of the troops.
Sure, okay. Kind of after a couple minutes of being, like 10-15 minutes of being back in amongst the troops, Rurak, you kind of, there are two soldiers you can see them coming back through the crowd, and they kind of spot you and they say, you recognize one of them as like, which of your two did you send away, Naren, and which of your two have you got here?
I would have sent. It's bad. I've forgotten his name. Sorgon. There we go.
That's not his name.
I would have. That's Sargon.
There you
Am
go.
I close? Sargon. I would have sent Sargon.
Sure, okay.
And then any one of the other three wouldn't really matter after that.
Sure, okay. Yeah, so where you can see there's this big black dragonborn,
Mhm.
kind of with his arms crossed, and then there's this kind of shorter red dragonborn. Says, "Are you all right?" The commander said to come and check in and make sure you're okay. What happened down there?
I wish I knew. I'm doing fine. Fell a fair distance, but something caught me. I don't know what. I don't suppose
You mean like a
there's
nerve or-
any. Is Lido around? Maybe she cast away. Didn't know because Ruak and Zorka found out Lido was gone the day before,
Yeah.
didn't he? So
No, she's not yet returned.
no, and I don't know who cast that spell, but someone caught me.
Is it possible it was? They're kind of like walking alongside you at this point. Is it possible there was it was the wizard in the enemy ranks trying to capture you?
That's a possibility. I didn't recognize the magic. I know my friend's magic. It wasn't theirs.
Was there anything else
It
unusual?
wasn't. Well, it wasn't hostile. It was something that saved me and let me down easily, and made sure that the fall that was going to kill me didn't. So, whoever saved me meant to save me, I think.
I see. Well, I'll relay that information to the commander.
If there's if you find out who it is, send them my way because I must thank them for it.
Very well. I'll ask some questions. Everything else is all right. What about the others?
Muir's in a bad way. I've used some of my magic to make her leg better, but she may need some care long term. Make sure she heals from that naturally as well.
I see.
Paraffin, were you hurt in that encounter? Are you okay?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, it did because I got hurt, so it turned me back into me. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, a little bit, but not too bad. Like
You're okay.
Took most of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's
I
good.
think about maybe 12 hit points, something like that.
It was a powerful blast that hit us.
Yeah, it wiped out my eagle, and then I think I took a sort of further 12 or something.
I haven't taken damage like that in a while. We have to be careful.
Yeah.
Also, I think maybe it was the same spellcaster that started the avalanche,
Ah.
but I
We
can't
don't
say
know
for
who
sure.
yet.
All I can tell you is that we're not the only army that has powerful magic. That's what I know now.
Yeah.
Maybe what we should have known sooner.
Well, I'll relay this to the commander. If there's anything else you need, just let us know. I'll make sure it's taken care of.
Just ask Naren to make sure we're still moving, and that's it.
All right. And then Bear kind of head off again. Sorry, go on.
It's all good. I think I'd like to have Ruak kind of do a thing where he's kind of like feeling a bit in a way because he was kind of close to death and he saw that Muir almost died and Fraffin was almost gone as well. Can it be a thing where in Hill Dwarf society or just something they do when they're climbing over hills is kind of get into a group chant in a way or a kind of group hymn?
Yeah, sure.
So Ruak would probably kind of be doing this hymn in Dwarvish, just in the beat with the march, I think.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice that a couple of the soldiers that you're marching with, like they obviously noticed that you were doing that. They kind of like they've never seen you do it before, so they're like, interesting. Like no one immediately joins in. You can hear a couple of them are kind of like coming kind of along with the kind of the pitch and variation of melody that you're kind of the match the lyrics you're chanting. But you definitely get into a nice groove with it, and it actually seems to pick up the soldiers around you. They're kind of like you start to find that you're kind of like you're kind of outpacing some sections of the army quite slowly, but you're kind of like moving through the ranks rather than being in a kind of set position, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Almost like kind of not even intending to be. You're just kind of everyone is kind of naturally like marching just that little bit faster in accordance with your chant. But yeah, absolutely, you can do that. And then as you are chanting, you watch. You said you're in like the middle of the army.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So you're kind of there is two soldiers from behind you start running and kind of like making their way through the ranks and kind of like easing past people as if they're trying to get somewhere in a hurry. They're heading off towards the front where Naren and Zorgar are. If it does anything for you.
What news?
Flags! And they just keep running.
Okay. God.
Like flags. What?
I'll shout fast march, and then I'll go back to the end of the line and start creating a storm again.
Sure, okay. Yeah, so you do that, and everyone kind of kicks up a bit of a gear again. And Naren, you were kind of whatever you were up to at the minute, you were kind of like kind of interrupted by this voice. This voice from further back in the ranks. It says, "Commander, they're signaling each other, the legions." And then there's this kind of out of breath legionary kind of like runs forward and is kind of like bent over a bit as if he's just run a fair way. Commander, there. We saw an exchange of 3 flag signals from the Legion at the bottom of the hill towards Karth's. Enemy mountain flank, at least I think that's what they said. Karth's Legion is peeling off around the front. Commander, they're going to flank us at the other side of the hills.
They're a good few hours behind us, though. Can they really beat us around? If they have to go round the long way?
Give us a survival check.
If only if they don't.
$19. Okay. So you know, kind of just based around, just kind of passively being aware of the surroundings, that it is about, based on like looking at the map and things like that, it's somewhere between 10 and 12 leagues from where Karth's Legion are currently to the kind of the other side of the mountains where you're heading towards. So it's about 10 to 12 hours of walking, by your estimate. Your direct route as the crow flies from where you where you got onto the mountain to where you're trying to end off the mountain is shorter than that, but you have to go up and then down, which kind of increases the distance somewhat. And also it's all through hills and things like that, so it's difficult terrain. So you're making smaller, slower progress than you would if you were taking their route. So like basically with a 19, your estimate is that you'll get to the other side of the mountains about noon tomorrow. If you stop and camp for nightfall. If you try to march through night, you'll be able to get there probably like 2 or 3 a.m. But you will have to be navigating the mountains in darkness, which is dangerous and liable to cause some injuries, if not a couple of deaths. Whereas where Karth is, you reckon he could get to the other, if they like really pushed it, they could get to the other side of the mountains by probably about the same time tonight. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nightfall's only in a few hours because it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now, so it's like, it gets dark about 6 or 7 because it's the middle of winter. So, there'll be a decision in a couple hours about whether you press on through the night, which will be, slower progress and more dangerous, or whether you stop and hold and camp and wait for morning, in which case they'll be at the other side. If you march straight through, you might beat them there. It depends if they also march into the night or whether they stop for when it gets dark. Although obviously they don't have like there's no danger component there. It's just a question of like how tired their soldiers would be.
Okay.
You can see all the other soldiers around have kind of like sort of stopped as this guy delivers his message, and that halt kind of like ripples back through the army as everyone kind of slows.
Aaron as well try and deter that as quickly as possible and just tell everyone to keep marching.
All right, sir.
Tell the guys who delivered the message to summon the rest of the party to the front.
All right,
Catch
sir.
up with us.
Do you want the captain and everyone else as well?
Sure, not everyone. Just bring Balex and Samon?
Someone.
Samor and Zorgar's guy.
That's what I was aiming for.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, they take off back to the ranks, and that kind of eventually feeds back to Rurak. This one of the soldiers you recognize comes back and says, "The commander wants you, sir." You can see he's quite out of breath. He's at the front.
Let's go.
I have to get Captain Gore.
Oh, okay. Just you don't have to go with me. That's fine. Let's go. Okay.
I mean, do you need escorted? I can take you if you want.
No,
all
you
right.
can rest.
Okay. So yeah, after it takes probably 15-20 minutes for everyone to arrive. But yeah, and Aaron, eventually Raffin and Rurak get kind of beckoned up to where Aaron and Zorgar are. Ward appears carrying Lida. Zarzan will be there, although Niall's not here. Balax kind of makes his way up to the front, as does Samorn. And also, even though he wasn't invited, Zeros kind of makes his way up to the front. He has the silver dragonborn with him that none of you guys really recognize. He doesn't look like he's here to like gate crash. It looks like he's almost here for like an entirely different reason. But everyone kind of arrives at roughly the same kind of time.
Someone does.
I have a bit of a situation. Do the troops spot them? One of the armies giving, or one of the legions sending flag signals to the other. We believe that the Karth's forces are going to flank us on the other side of the hills before we can descend.
Alright. Can maybe slow them down with the same thing. Put a storm over them. Shower them with lightning. That's about as useful as I am.
Even so, we'd have to power through the night.
Yeah.
Balax says, Commander, I fear that would cause more harm than it would save. These hills are treacherous, even in daylight.
Oh, I'm sorry, can you hear that?
That's okay.
You're good.
I've been trying to mute it at the worst of it, but okay. I think I might just have to close my window a minute.
It's totally fine. You don't have to worry about it.
That's okay. Can't hear this.
Yeah. Right, well, I'll do my part to try and slow them down. Rurak will kind of face east, south, southeast direction of the mountain and try and like create like an echo and shout something Dwarvish, like I don't know, just dwarvish syllables,
Sure.
and that's his way of kind of trying to summon wings.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can probably see, because you called him before, right? Like last session you called him and he hadn't turned up yet. You can probably
Yeah.
see he's kind of like circling like in the distance, kind of, but then he kind of, this big bellow, you kind of get woken up by this like big dwarfish noise, and that kind of goes blah, blah. And then you can see Rick, this bird figure in the distance is like doing a circle, goes whee. It starts heading towards where you had directed your shout.
Okay.
What are the rest of your reactions to that news?
What's happening?
They're gonna come round and poke us from the other side, Neil.
Who? Excuse me?
The 8th Legion.
Carth?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
right.
gonna come round. Gonna be caught between a rock and a... How do you say it? An army, yeah.
That doesn't sound good. What we doing? My leg really hurts.
Yeah, you should... how do you feel? Are you dying?
I don't think I'm dying. I'm not sure. It doesn't look right, but it doesn't hurt.
Rurak said it did... Rurak... Mio says it doesn't look right.
No. I just think. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Can,
He's been
can
a
I
lot of time
inspect the
trying to get
leg?
it right. Yeah, it looks fine to you.
It's fine. It's fine.
Did we ever find out? Am I making this up, or was there a reverse giant blob of energy the first time that the hill got zapped? Was there another
There
one?
was, yeah.
There was.
Yeah.
Return fire. Did we ever establish who that was?
I asked Saros.
He kind of clears his throat. He says, he kind of gestures to the silver dragonborn beside him. He says, I wasn't sure when was a good moment to introduce you, Commander. This is Sarith. They were responsible for the reply.
Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Good. Why did you shock?
That was solid. I don't
Thank
suppose
you.
you know anything about that bubble that saved me from falling, do you?
Oh, and that was me.
You got a good shot. Thank
I
you.
do.
Yeah.
I give a sleepy thumbs up.
Well, okay, I was aiming for your friend there, if I'm being
Mhm.
honest.
You ever heard?
It was a
And
long,
you hit me instead. Well,
it was a long distance.
I understand,
Mm.
you know. But hey, thanks.
Can I ask Saros, did you order the return fire?
He sort of looks from you. He looks to Sarith. He says, "I did not."
I see.
Seemed like the logical thing to do.
Sure, but there's a chain of command in an army for a reason. If your commanding officer didn't tell you to fire, then don't fire.
No, listen, Sam, you did a great job. Thank you.
Naren, I'd be willing to bet the
I
commanding
appreciate
officer.
that.
Why did you say that?
Be willing to bet the commanding officer didn't order them to save me. So I'm kind of
That's
grateful that they
different.
broke command. They broke.
That was a different incident. Shooting at someone and catching someone who's falling are two very different acts. One,
That's
I
true.
feel you need permission for, or just shouldn't commit in the first place in general, but either way, I leave it to you, Saros, to decide.
He looks at Sarth and he looks at you. He says, well, Commander knows potentially not the best time to bring it up, but I was, given your wizard companion is absent, I thought perhaps you might want someone to fulfill that role for you." Kind of looks at Sarth. He says, the Sarth here would be a natural choice. I'm sure it would do them well to have some discipline engendered in them.
Probably not the best place to bring them for that, but sure.
So, Storth, you like books?
Hello.
Our
No.
last what? What? Our last spellcaster really liked books.
Books aren't really my thing. I'm
Are
afraid.
you a wizard?
Huh?
Nope.
You're not a wizard, but you cast spell. Well, you're a cleric then. Who's your god?
Oh,
I
what
don't-
religious nut jobs!
I
Are you-
don't really worship anyone.
Oh, hang on. So
Are
you're not a reader.
Sorcerer.
You're not a god.
You see,
Warlock?
the way I summon magic, I just will it into existence.
Well, that's
So,
nice.
how would you describe your self? If not
I
wizard.
enjoy feasts. I enjoy drinking.
All right. Well, we're on the same page now.
I that's about it. There's a whole ancestral dragon thing that makes me look the way I look, and
Where are you
give-
from?
why well, my name is Sarth Luminar, so
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Do you want to
Oh,
describe
fine,
what
no.
Sarth looks like, Emma?
Sarth is a white dragonborn. You even the dragonborns in the party themselves can't quite tell what gender they are. They're very androgynous, kind of just. That's just the way they are. They have their horns kind of go up and then are like a little bit round this way at the top. And if you notice in the right light, their white scales are tipped in silver.
Hmm.
Pretty cool.
Fancy Dragonborn.
Are you tall?
The real question: are you taller than Zorga and Aaron?
Do they glitter? Do they have glitter lights in the right sunlight?
Sure.
Mm.
I'm sure they'd love that.
Are you like hollow?
I don't know how tall they are actually. I haven't really thought about that.
Be taller. Piss him off. God.
I roll for how tall they are. We'll see. I'll do a d20 roll.
20 feet.
Oh, I'm pretty tall.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The horns add a lot though.
Hmm.
Because I have horns.
Does that mean you're older than Naren and Zorgar?
Yep.
All right.
Older, taller, better,
Grander.
perhaps.
So yeah, that's what Sarf looks like.
Sure. I think I talked over something Naren was going to say when I asked that.
I can't remember what we're talking about. I got
Your
carried away
lips
in
are
the
moving,
description.
mate, but you're not pressing your button.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
slippy cable.
Oh, can you hear you, mate?
Uh-oh.
Somebody's got a slippy cable. Nope.
Nothing.
Nothing but audio
Zip.
problems today.
Zilch.
You should be really good at miming. We don't know.
Nada.
Nada.
Hello?
There we
Oh,
go.
there we
There we go.
Oh,
Welcome back to the world of
audio.
here.
The classic solution.
Yes.
Unplug and replug it.
Yeah.
Naren was going to ask if your clan Luminar, why are you here, part of an Urus squadron?
Oh, it's a long story.
Okay, never
It's
mind.
not that
Let's
long,
move
I
on.
can tell you.
I've decided to move on.
Okay.
I want to be enlightened.
I want to
Perhaps
know
over
now.
a drink later.
If we have time for that, sure. If you bring the drink, I'll sit.
Well, you've got prime opportunity here, sort of, because we are down our spellcaster, as you know.
It feels a bit mean to replace Lida so fast, but you know, you've already done a bang up job, so welcome aboard.
You made a hell of a first impression.
I do that.
Aye.
Are there any
Apparently.
other big spellcasters under your command? Talking, addressing.
A handful, but not. Kind of looks at Zorith. None quite like Zorith.
I'm just meaning for defense purposes. For a shot at again.
Zorith has a natural aptitude that few in my unit can match, unfortunately. Or
Yeah,
fortunately for
you'll have
Zorith.
them just shoot lasers.
I'm skilled in warfare.
Are you skilled in lasers?
Yes.
What's your I was going to say School of Magic, but I know you're not one for much
Aggro.
read. What? Yeah. What's?
Well, I mainly ice magic. Cause white dragonborn, that might, silver dragonborn's also ice.
Right.
But
Suppose.
Cool.
mainly skill set is trying to high damage, and utility for groundwork with my crossbow. Go on a crossbow.
All right.
I'm trained in archery as well, so I'm
That's
pretty
handy.
good at that. I forgot what the question was. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
The question
Surprisingly
is,
few archers on the party.
We've had a fair few archers.
Yeah.
2, haven't we?
That's
Who-
for
who-
a party of 6. That's pretty decent.
Oh no,
Sorry.
3. Yeah,
Who,
that's ours.
who can do archery here?
Sarsen?
Yeah.
Tarzan, that's true.
Again.
Aye, but you just joined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Malbrin,
Malbrin, yeah.
the
Not here.
the person who came before Rurek. What?
Wait.
Were
Oh,
they an
what
archer?
was his name again? What was his name?
Thor.
Vor.
Thor.
Oh, what are you going around with a guy calling himself Vor for? That's ridiculous.
You tell us, Rick. You tell us.
I don't know.
Anyway, we need a solution to the big problem we have right now.
Sort
What's
of your,
that?
you got.
We
Care to
are
explain now?
about to be flanked by another legion on the other side of these hills. Or pincered.
Hmm. Check the old spellbook.
Jake, I have a question
You got a question?
about the spell polymorph.
Uh-huh.
It says you can turn anyone whose challenge rating is equal to or less to than the target, and the target's level if they don't have a challenge rating. And what level is it? Are the people in the party currently?
13?
13? Does that mean I can turn people into challenge rating 13 creatures?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I could polymorph one of these into a dragon,
Yeah,
and
sick.
we could scare them off.
You can't turn us into a dragon. Get out. No, you can't.
It can't be a dragon, sorry, Brush. It has to be a beast.
Ah, okay. How do I differentiate beast from
You gotta
whatever?
look at the spat blocks. You gotta look at the stat blocks.
You're the spat blocks.
I know spat block.
Whoa, rude.
It just gave me monsters. It didn't give me pictures. And I googled it.
If you go on like on D&D Beyond, you can filter monsters by 2 beasts, and then sort them by challenge rating.
Rightio, beast.
Turn someone into a
You
rider.
turn someone into a sperm whale.
That would be
Turn
pretty
them into
good.
a buffalo wump.
Large subterranean lizard.
Ooh.
Turn someone into a buffalo wump.
Your mom's a buffalo wolf.
Look up a bufflewump. It's a
What?
D&D beast.
Bufflewump. Bufflewump.
Looks
Okay,
scary though.
investigation check. What the heck? Oh, do I need to? I
Buffle.
don't know.
Did you
I'll
mean
look on
buffer
this.
amp? How do you spell this?
Is it like a matabubu?
Can you spell
It's
it?
like-
Then?
It's BUFFLEWUMP. He looks scary. I'd be
Bufflewump.
scared.
Oh yes, this guy. Bufflewump.
You do take on the same intelligence as whatever you turn into, though.
That is true.
Oh,
So you could turn into a sperm whale with the intelligence of a sperm whale.
but if you drop a
I
sperm
could-
whale on an army,
I could turn you guys into. I could turn one of you guys into a T-Rex.
whoa,
That's pretty scary.
Pretty fun.
pretty damn scary.
That's kind of like a dragon, just
I can't
without
go
the
as big
wings.
as a T-Rex. I
Yeah.
don't think yet, can I, Jake?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure.
Other dinosaurs can you?
Raffin, can't you turn into like a velociraptor? A
You're like a Spinosaurus
Yeah,
or something.
Velociraptor.
and a sort of allosaur, like Allosaurus type thing too. Wee bit
Allosaur.
smaller than a T-Rex.
Oh yeah, but that'd be good. You could have both of them. You could have someone's a
Dinosaur
T-Rex
army.
and someone's you could be the Allosaur. Could you even
Allosaurus are
summon
pretty
more and all?
I can summon them, I'm sure, but I don't know. Like, I can choose to summon bears, but I don't think I can choose to summon anything else.
Ah, that's fine.
Dinosaur bear.
I think Rurak's having a good giggle to himself, picturing everyone as dragons.
Or
I think Naren and Zorg are the most obvious
Giant
transformation.
walrus.
good.
I'd
Giant
be
walrus.
flopping them.
Very dubious.
How giant are we talking?
It's huge,
Absolutely.
which in
Huge.
D&D is like
3 by 3?
large. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty damn big. I could
Maybe not big
turn
enough
one of
to
you
scale
guys
a
into
legion,
a
huh?
brontosaurus.
Very
Um,
little arms.
Brontosaurus, isn't that long neck boy?
It
That
is.
is long neck boy.
They're like arguably better than T-Rex.
They're gargantuan. What if we I could turn you
Gargantuan, you
into one
say?
and we could just drop you on the army.
Yes,
It
but
sounds
like
death to whoever is.
Not necessarily, because actually, let me look.
Us
at
is
this
a
up.
legion.
Yeah, but how many would you
Have a
squish?
teleporting cloak. Just could blomp them. Get the fuck out.
The teleporting cloak on the dinosaur.
Yeah, just tie it around its neck.
if we dropped Raffin as an
At the
Earth
time,
elemental from like 1,000 feet up, would he be like an asteroid?
Not from 1,000 feet up.
More than.
It's a
That
good
would be
point,
the one.
actually.
I think
How
the better
high do we
question
have
is,
to
would
get
Raffin
you
die?
I'd have to be entering the atmosphere.
You have to be entering the atmosphere. You have to be
How
going
high
like
the wings
faster than
get?
terminal velocity.
You can't really go
You
faster
can't.
than terminal
There's-
velocity. That's what
There's a
terminal
reason
means.
it's called terminal
Can you not
velocity.
accelerate
Is this-
towards a body? Is that not going faster than terminal velocity?
Well, terminal velocity is just the highest speed you can go before gravity stops accelerating you past air resistance before it like balances out. That makes
Yes,
sense?
but
So that you
have-
can. Oh, I suppose if you had, actually, if you had like thrusters, then sure,
Yes.
yeah, you could go faster than terminal velocity. That's what I mean.
So asteroids entering will be faster than terminal velocity if their velocity was faster than terminal velocity before they reached Earth.
Yes,
Mm.
they have to be going really fast before they hit Earth. Though.
Yeah, because the atmosphere does a fair amount of braking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it true polymorph that you need to be able to put people into dragons?
I think so,
That would
yeah.
make
And then they can't come back or something.
So what?
Well, that's
Oh yeah,
them,
it's a
like a
9th
dragon
level
forever.
spell.
Oh, sweet.
Right. Well, Here's something that's gonna. I'm gonna be flying up above them anyway to make a storm, slow them down a bit. If someone wants to join and turn into a dinosaur, that's fine.
I'm not going to say no if nobody else wants to do that.
No, you can't do that. Look at your lady. I'm not gonna let you. You're gonna.
But I'll be a dinosaur.
Nope.
Ward. I don't even know what a dinosaur is, but it sounds fun.
I'm not letting you.
Hey,
I read
Sora,
about them. They're scary.
Hello.
out of curiosity, what happens if you try to turn this one into a dinosaur? I'm pointing at Ward.
Well, I don't know. I've never done it
Don't
before.
turn me into a dinosaur.
Could be pretty cool. Could be
Against his
pretty
will.
cool. Ward,
Even
have you
taller,
even-
Ward.
Ward, have you seen a dinosaur?
Oh no. Have you?
Yeah. They're pretty awesome.
I don't
I
believe you.
think you'd make a really
Do
good.
they have
dinosaur.
dinosaurs in your mountain?
Not my mountain. No.
We've all seen a dinosaur.
Yeah. Everyone in
Yeah,
the
we
party
have.
has seen a dinosaur.
Oh, we went to the zoo, didn't we?
Oh,
No,
Raffen
because
is-
Harafin can turn into one.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
First one they had
he
was at the
saw one
zoo.
at
That's
the
a dinosaur?
Yeah,
Ah.
it was at the zoo.
Yeah, you've seen Raffen when he turns into that two-legged beast.
Oh. Okay.
You could be like a big metallic dinosaur,
wanna do
and
that.
that could be really cool.
If I wanted to be a dinosaur,
Mechagodzilla!
I would have asked her to turn me into one when she was fixing me.
Okay, that's fair.
Fair point.
I like having
I mean-
hands and arms and stuff. They're useful.
Hmm. But how about the most powerful bite in history?
In history.
Huh?
Could we turn Ward into a Megazord?
Please.
Would
Please,
that
I would
stop
do
the
that.
Legion?
You could put the spider bot on and we could like combine.
Oh my god.
Megazord.
You were laughing at me.
No, we're just laughing at the possibilities that you could be doing.
We're not laughing at you, we're laughing at the thought of you.
That doesn't
I
make
don't
me
say
feel much
that.
better.
I don't say that.
Ward, imagine me as a dinosaur.
Terrifying.
You'd be
Now
a-
that's-
Dinosaur with a beard?
Yeah, dinosaur with a beard, that'd be terrible. Would get in the way of the teeth. You know, it would go
Oh,
to
no.
hum, and you get a beard cut in it.
It could be pretty impractical, couldn't it?
Yes,
So we want
I don't know if dinosaurs can grow hair though.
I don't know.
maybe it's a feather beard.
Is a beard practical, Rimek? Could you not just if you're in a fight?
so much in here. Look at this. You
Yes,
can't
but-
you
but,
can't
you
store
know,
this
in
anywhere else.
warfare,
Honestly.
You know, in open battle, could
Hmm.
I not just like grasp your beard? Could I not just do that and then I've got you by the beard?
Grab a dwarf's beard, boy. Put it
But
down.
you see how that could be possible.
And
There's a certain code of honor that anyone that is not degenerate follows.
To degenerate.
Oh, you grab
Dinosaur
the dwarf by his
combat
beard.
Guys. Getting off track here. Dinosaurs.
Actually, on track is like we got an army to move. So,
Again, dinosaurs.
Yeah, Balak's
Dinosaur-
gonna.
right. Shall we do dinosaurs? I'm not hearing an alternative. solution.
Dinosaurs! I am
Well,
very
What's
for
the end
dinosaurs.
result of dinosaurs, though?
It's massive.
Mauling the enemy army.
Drop them on the army, do a bit of mauling.
But you want to
Really, like,
annihilate a whole
parachuting
legion with a
dinosaurs.
dinosaur?
I think it's doable. It'll do a bit of damage to
you?
scare them off.
I don't think it is doable.
How many people
I
in
don't
a
think you can
legion?
be. Did you see the bolt of lightning they just fired? Or bolt
Not
of
that
energy
one,
they
the
fired at
other
us?
one. The one we're not sure. Why don't we go for the one down the other side of the hill? We don't have Lightning McGee behind us.
What makes you think they can't do that?
Well, they might be a bit distracted by the dinosaur. I don't know.
Aaron, do you have any intelligence on the makeup of that army? Because obviously that one over there, they've got spellcasters. We know that. But this one that's flanking, are they made up of just soldiers, or is there spellcasters
mean-
too?
The person who knows all about them is standing right next to us, but he wouldn't even tell me anything about their commander until I got it out of someone else.
I didn't think it was relevant.
Well, now it is. Our lives are on the line, Balex.
There are no spellcasters.
There's no spellcasters
Not,
in that.
there certainly wasn't.
All right. Well
Did
then,
you, I mean, you saw them at the village, didn't you? Did you see any spellcasters?
not to my
Gotcha.
sight, no. So do you think just force will be enough? If we can bring enough, will it work?
It'll have to.
We just have to scare him. We don't even have to. Giant dinosaur. Pretty scary. I would desert an army if a giant dinosaur came after me.
I don't think we
Okay.
can bet we should place our bets on a.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, it's probably going to be pretty effective, at least wheedling them down a bit.
Okay.
But then
Yeah.
we have a whole nother legion.
Dragonborn's going to be more scared of dinosaurs, or because they look a bit like dragons anyway.
Would it be like King Kong for us?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I think I'd be more. Yeah. I find King Kong pretty scary.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm
I
more
like
scared
him.
of King Kong than I am like Godzilla.
I mean,
That's
most
true.
people here
Godzilla breathes
worship
fire.
dragons.
Yeah, I'm probably more scared of Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm more scared of Godzilla. He seems like a tough guy.
I watched Godzilla versus Kong. Be more scared of Godzilla is a fair assessment.
No, that's
Mothra is where it's at. It's just a giant moth.
Yeah,
I
Mothra's
love
pretty
it.
cool.
Mothra is terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying until it's nighttime and the moon comes out, and then she's just headed straight for that.
So Finn, when it comes to giant lizard, giant gorilla, giant five-headed or three-headed dragon, or giant moth, what's the scariest out of those?
Godzilla, because he's radioactive and he's got big laser beams out his mouth.
So we just need one of those.
Godzilla's
then.
a she,
I
isn't
feel
it?
we're drifting off topic again.
Who is this
Can we get a
Godzilla you speak
Godzilla?
of?
It's an ancient tale from my homeland.
How about
Maybe from
wild
Tokyo?
card? Wild card. We open up that door that we found.
The door?
What? How did we get
Door.
a
That
legion
was
there?
ages ago.
Yeah, but it might work.
Wait, okay.
It's nowhere
Is
near
it?
here.
No.
Never mind, I wouldn't say anything.
Light ship, baby! Just giant portal, see where we go.
Until anyone suggests anything that's sensible, I think the best chance is dinosaurs.
What's the plan?
That
I
does
can
not
only
seem
make-
like the most sensible
I can
option.
only make 2 dinosaurs.
2 dinosaurs? Only 2 ginormous dinosaurs? This sounds like the best plan.
Don't you have to turn somebody into a dinosaur though?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're just dropping 2 of our army into the middle of another army.
Yeah.
I
all get
volunteer
I would
switched.
myself.
suggest one of the people here.
I can teleport away once I stop being a dinosaur. So
But do you think you can act before like 50 other people can act?
Can everyone just give us just a straight intelligence check, please?
I wonder where this is going.
Screw you, Jake. I'm a smart lady. Where is my intelligence?
Ability check.
Do we just click on the number?
Intelligence.
I'm gonna give my. Oh, can I give myself +6? Oh dear.
An ability check, yeah.
Yeah.
Or saving throw.
Ooh.
Ability
Ooh,
check.
20!
First roll?
That's, yeah!
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's not all character fitting, but. I'll take it.
Okay, so what have we got there? So a 16 from Zorgar. He was in the military. Makes sense.
You're really wants to do the
7 from
dinosaur.
Naren. 11 from Murak.
Mira's very
Seven.
half
Lizardman
unconscious, so you know.
In my
20
Lizardman
from
Lizardman
sounds
campaign,
like-
you just send in a dinosaur and it wrecks the army, so there's a certain wisdom to that.
And a 12. So okay, so
Our
most
party
of
is
you,
not very intelligent.
Zorgar, definitely Soreth. You both are like Soreth's not seen the Legion, in question, well, except from in the distance. But Zorgar, you've seen them like at the, like in person, and you know that there's like 200 people in that Legion,
Mhm.
and they're all fairly well armored and presumably fairly well trained. And with your 20, Soreth, you could probably kind of just get a vibe from looking at them, in the distance, that they've got infantry and archers and like some kind of like rookie ass infantry as well. And you're like, don't know. I don't know if you would sort of have ever seen a dinosaur.
I guess it kind of depends what kind of stuff it was taught
Sure.
at the thing.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if dragonborns and dinosaurs are like more intrinsically linked because it's lizardy type stuff, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, a little bit. Like there's the occasional. There are like a couple of dinosaurs on scale, but they're all fairly like all the dangerous ones have kind of been removed. So it's kind of just like domesticated dinosaurs and descendants of domesticated dinosaurs that are on this island.
Chickens?
Yeah, You're probably pretty confident that even 2 dinosaurs would probably just get like pocked full of arrows until they fell over. They might take a couple of dudes with them, but it certainly wouldn't be enough to like stop the army.
Oh, like 2
It would look
surprise
cool.
dinosaurs from the sky wouldn't take out more than 2 people.
Also, if you drop the
What?
dinosaurs from the sky, the dinosaurs kind of probably die on impact.
That's true.
And then it
That's
just transforms back to regular ass person. They're just falling out of the sky. Probably gets
I
captured.
feel like we didn't need to roll dice to know that that wasn't a great plan.
boring.
Right.
I'm
So
not feeling great about the dino plan.
Listen, at least you guys know it can happen.
Yeah. You know, they're here bringing solutions. I'm not hearing any other.
But I would suggest maybe something else.
I think
got the dinosaur plan to the
we
table.
Well,
have
I
a
was just
man-
spitballing.
we have a man who can conjure storms. I think storms could be a better route to go here.
Hang on. How many?
Could we
troops
make a
do we
big
have
bomb
left?
Storm.
and I can drop it from an eagle?
How
If we're
many
dropping
troops?
dinosaurs.
We're not dropping dinosaurs.
We're not doing that.
No, I know, but if we're
Drop
going to drop a
bears.
dinosaur, then we could drop a bomb of some sort. Surely.
You just bomb them.
You can
I
fuck
think
it.
because we're
Couldn't
doing
we
that
construct
streak,
something
wasn't it?
Yeah.
like that would like be fiery and big and heavy and just drop it on an army? We'll roll downhill.
The thing with Scales armies, they usually have some form of anti-air as
As we
seen.
discovered last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many troops do we have left to transport?
You have I think you should be able to check in the actors tabs, the party resources thing. I have the troops in there. You got 130 left.
And we can transport, if we reach a big tree, 40 a day.
Yeah.
And how many hexes do you cover in a day?
If you're traveling normally along flat ground along a road, you travel 3 hexes an hour and you can walk usually about 8 hours a day, so about 24.
Okay. So we need to buy 4 days somehow. Very little ground left to cover.
Lane shift. Lane shift. Go on an adventure.
What does it seem like are in that other legion that's like down the hill from us?
So with a 20, you've been in the military. You probably can tell that. So all of your, like in game terms, right? All of Naren's units, and Zorgar's units are size 1d4, right? That means they got 4 blips and they go. But half your lads have gone, so it's more like there's like 2 or 3 blips left on most of them. By Sarth's reckoning, the 8th Legion, that you saw them in the distance, so it's kind of difficult to tell, but they probably have something like a D10 and a D8 and like a D6 or another D8's worth of troops. Like, so they're like,
Okay.
quite a lot of them. There's about 200 folk there if you're eyeballing it. You normally have 240 now that Saros has turned up, but most of them are gone. So they outnumber you almost double.
What is the number of troops just at the bottom of the hill?
They outnumbered. I think I said they outnumbered you about 3-2. So they've got like 180.
So if we're gonna be able to take any, it would be the ones closest to us.
But they've also got.
Yeah, it doesn't look good either way.
Also, that battle will probably sustain long enough for the 8th to catch up with us.
Perhaps. So we're looking at a escape plan. Let's see.
Yeah.
Felix, I don't suppose there's any hidden mines or anything in these hills, or any secret
far as I know.
passageways, or
Did we can't scout really, can we?
We could
have
miss
time.
a couple people and they could fucking zip about. I mean, I don't know that.
Jake
Yes.
and Rurak, examine the hills and see if there's a better way of moving down them than we've been taking.
Sure. Give us a nature check? Survival
Nature
check? Good
Um,
choice.
can I go for
Force check.
survival?
Sure, that kind of makes more sense.
Great, thank you. Ooh, that's not too bad. A low 20?
Level
Non-natural?
20.
Yeah.
So let me. Can I draw on the? I should be able to draw on the old. So, the route you were gonna take is, as I understand, like that, right?
yeah,
Sure.
roughly,
Um,
yeah.
You kind of look like you can't even got a great vantage point, but you're kind of like based on you're pretty sure there's potentially a route to go like that.
See when you're doing nin, are
Potentially.
we supposed to see something on the
I'm
map?
gonna point out to Naren, be like,
Yeah,
I
if I
can't-
activate the
Mm,
map, this should pull people.
Because it was good bionic man noises.
like
I
I
can
can't
see
see
what
for
you're
sure,
drawing.
Naren, but see that ridge? That might bring us down a bit more into the forest, and might buy us some time if we take that route instead. Here, Zorgar, come see this. Come see this. Look over there.
Well, yeah. You think we can make it down there?
Well, maybe. Can we maybe send forward a forward scout and see if they can check the route and see if it's okay?
I don't think we have enough time for them to scour the whole route.
True.
Could we?
What if they were scouting by air?
Well, I can fly that way. If you want to start moving the troops in that direction,
I
I'll
say
let you know.
until we come up with a better plan, it's just stall and keep moving. So we'll follow your new path of going down there. If you get in the air, cause a storm, geckos start making traps behind us.
Could we?
That's what we got.
Ask what the. So we're gonna keep moving, and these guys are gonna keep following us until what?
We disappear is the idea.
Okay.
Do I assume I assume all the Dragonborn armies use the same flag things, and we have. I'm not sure we still do have people who can do illusions and stuff. Could we not just send false information to one of them?
That could, if we can
Good
figure out
question.
a good way of doing that, that could be really good.
Hmm.
I can't do illusions. It's not me. Sorif is that the kind of thing you can do?
Nope.
No.
Oh,
Krafen illusions, is that your speciality?
Not really.
No.
Just having a wee look there.
I think we just lost the person who'd be able to do that, Muir. Unless you've got some illusions as well, I don't know.
just checking. For some reason, my spell list isn't working on D&D.
I'm looking. There's a sort of an illusion thing. Next level, I can make myself look like anybody else or anything else.
That's pretty cool.
That will.
That
That will.
Right.
Right. I'm gonna go fly down that path. I'll make sure that it leads somewhere.
Sure you're okay going on your own? You don't want anyone going with you?
No, I'll go
I think
alone.
it would be best if you just start stalling immediately.
Okay.
You don't
where
want
you going,
me
mate?
to scout it?
Just go.
Okay. Alright. Is anyone else get on this bird?
What do you mean this bird? I have a name.
If
Oh,
no
eight
one
wings.
in the party is going with him, I was saying just like a soldier to make sure.
Yeah, again, I've got giant insects. We could drop giant insects on.
What?
They're not scared of it. They're like, ah, ah.
I forget that movie was called. Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get army of insects. Nara, did you say you're sending a soldier along with to go with me on wings?
Yeah.
Oh, all right,
I'll send one of my elite boys with you.
cool. Well, I guess I'll look at them and be like, all right, I guess it's you then.
It's the red dragon bird from earlier. She's like, all right.
Have you ever flown before?
Yes, once or twice.
Ah, it'll come naturally then. Come on, let's go.
She's kinda,
I'm Rurak, by the way.
I'm Kareth.
Gareth. All right.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
We've met before, I think, briefly, but she kind of looks kind of somewhat gingerly at Wingsley, kind of stares at her, like, looks her up and down. She's like, "You just no saddle?"
No need.
I made a special custom saddle. What is
Wait.
this?
All right, is there a saddle? I'm sorry. There must. I guess there is.
Is it? I thought it was just to hold the orb, or did you make a saddle as well? Am I forgetting?
I can't remember now, actually.
You definitely
feel
made an
like-
orb holder.
Yes, there was an orb holder. A saddle would be good eventually. We should work on that. I don't remember making a saddle. Do you remember making a saddle, Mir?
I don't know. I guess it was just an orb holder.
Okay. Yeah, no need for a saddle. Unless maybe that probably would be sensible, but they'll be fine.
One day.
Come on.
She kind of like chafing.
Oh, I never really thought of that. To be fair.
Yeah. So Wings is like, wow, this one is heavy. Then kind of
Don't be
takes
rude.
off. So you are going to hassle the enemies, is that right?
Yeah.
Or are you going to hassle? Okay.
Yeah. Can I try and stay above the cloud line, if possible?
Yeah, you can do that.
Or yeah,
And how are you?
Storms.
I'll cast the orb, and if possible, I'm gonna just lightning bolt ahead of them, so like where they're going towards like where we're going,
Sure.
just in front of them, just to like pretty much scare them because they're gonna keep on walking into lightning.
Okay. So I'm just.
Any odds of that?
I don't want to walk into lightning now.
They're just down there. They're like, what is all this lightning?
Load of rubbish.
Sure. Okay. So, Rack and Wings and Kareth take off and head northwest towards where you had last seen the Eighth Legion. You can't see where they are right now because there's a mountain in the way. They head off in that direction. What are the rest of you guys doing?
We're just heading down the path
Heading down.
that we've, the new path that we've found. Just to go down.
Sure. Okay.
Now
So-
probably go get deck to set up traps behind the army as we go.
What?
Naren's probably got have Gex set up traps behind the army as we go. Oh, I see. Skek, I see.
What kind of traps you want? I left my
ones
holes
that-
at old place.
You can't exactly bring your hole. It doesn't matter. They just have to be quick but efficient.
Sure, I can. Kind of like he sort of like he takes his gritty, like pours some dirt. I've been carrying around this hole for ages.
Okay.
I could have brought other holes too, but then Palo was like, "No, you can't put holes in a cart. That's where food goes."
Well, I don't think we can use holes on this
Okay,
mountainside
no
anyway.
holes. So then what?
You're the
Spikers?
trap master.
There's not much big rocks. I guess could if I stand on that ridge and hold big rock and wait for them to go by and drop them on their bunker and go.
No. We need this to trigger while you and the rest of us are way ahead of them.
talking
have
about serious
rope?
traps.
The serious traps that need to stall the enemy and scare them.
Does Gek have rope?
I don't got ropes. No. I had rope, and someone took them off me because I was.
Do we have ropes we can give him?
Yeah, you got rope somewhere.
Yeah, sure. But Gek is the trap master. If he needs rope, he can have rope. But if he doesn't need it,
We could
So
set
you
some-
want? So you want me make traps while we walking?
like,
That's not really
you
gonna
go
work.
ahead a little.
Okay, but then you're gonna set off
You
traps.
go ahead. Don't activate it until we've come by.
How is he supposed to do that?
I don't think you
They're not
understand how traps
helping,
work.
yeah. I'm not the trap master.
I just
this is your
won
job.
Gek.
How long would it take you to set up a trap? A sufficient trap?
I don't know. I never tried to make traps with just rocks before.
How long? How far behind does Naren reckon this army is? How long does he reckon they'd have?
So the one at the bottom of the hill, last time you saw them, they were just kind of like, they weren't pursuing necessarily. Like they had a landslide to clear if they wanted to, and also they were just kind of seemed to be taking stock of the situation. But then they've since kind of passed out of use. I'm not sure if that's still true. They're like maybe an hour behind if they were walking at the same pace as you.
Could we? So the other people are running the other way around the mountain, yeah?
Yeah, that's what you've been told.
So could we not do what they did and start an avalanche in their path? We have explosives.
If they get close enough to the mountainside, sure, but I think they gotta be in the forest. I don't know.
I assume they're gonna have to hug the mountain pretty close if they want to catch up to us. So it doesn't have to be on them, it just has to be in the way of them.
Okay. For now, Naren's just gotta leave Gek in charge of figuring out how to get traps set. Yeah, gonna assign 2 guards to protect him. And also make sure that he doesn't drop too far behind.
I get on deck swabs. I get on cabin, boys.
Naren's also probably gonna hang towards the mid-back of the force so he can try and keep an eye on him.
Sure, okay. Yeah, you can see he's doing some thinking about stuff. He's kind of like basically, doing there's not very many trees on this mountainside or anything, and he certainly can't really stop to like fell a tree in order to get some wood to like make a trap out of. So it's kind of going to be like rockfall traps and stuff like that he'd be able to set up. But the rocks are pretty big and he's pretty small. So not sure how well he'll do, but he'll certainly give it his best shot.
Probably inform him that if he needs manpower, he might abuse that actually. Okay, so just tell the troops that are with him that if they need any assistance to call for it.
Alright, sir. Sure, okay. So Gek's gonna go and kind of do that as you guys are walking.
And I flag down Rook before he leaves.
Oh. They go off and then they come back down. What's up?
I was wondering if I could maybe get a lift and, I don't know, swing by and cause a cheeky avalanche in the other person's direction. See how it goes.
The avalanche. All right, jump on.
Kind of awkwardly
More.
weasel on.
Only for a wee bit. You just can't. You just had a holiday. Come on.
I'm sorry, Wings.
I can't do it. It's too much. The weight. I can't. He kind of eventually takes off. Sure.
Cool.
So Muir and Rurek are again going airborne.
Second
So
time's a
last
charm.
time.
Naren's kind of watching at the back of the army to make sure nothing's, make sure keep an eye on Gek and everyone. What are the other 2 folks doing? 3 folks, rather.
I'm just trotting along.
Sure, okay.
just walking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a valid answer, given the circumstances. Sure, okay. So I guess we'll do bird crew first.
Hmm. Yep.
So what direction are you heading in, and what are you trying to do?
Is there a north peak that I can take Muir to
Yeah.
where she can create an avalanche? Yeah, wherever there's like loose rock and a good high peak that will make a good avalanche.
Yeah, you can definitely take her to the peak. You can see kind of as you get airborne that that Legion are still like in the intervening time they've kind of gone from here to they're walking along the road, which is a good couple miles out from the mountainside. So it had to be like a really big landslide to kind of hit them, if that makes sense.
Will they pass by the mountains on the east side? Is there
Probably. It would be a reasonable assumption, but that'll happen some number of hours from now.
Well, so it doesn't really matter if it hits them or not. It just has to be in their way.
Okay, well, shall I drop you off here and then you can set up what you're doing?
Mhm.
All right. Well, this is your stop.
Okay, I'll ring you if anything.
Yep, I got my. Bye.
Bye.
That is a weight
Thank
off.
you. Thank you, Wings. I'll get you something nice. I thought we were friends.
They fly off. And then what is your plan, Rurak?
Storm time.
Storm time.
Sorry, who? What was the name of my companion? I need to write this down.
Her name is Kareth.
Kareth.
Yeah. You see, she's a red dragonborn. She's kind of fairly well dressed, like in terms of well equipped. She's got a sword. I think she has a shield. She's got a whip on her belt as well.
Oh.
Otherwise, she's kind of fairly quiet.
But before we head off a bit, Kareth, would you like to join me up flying up top? I'm going to be causing a storm and potentially be arrows flying my way.
The commander has instructed me, so.
All right, that's fine. Yeah. All right, let's do it then.
All right.
Okay.
I could help out as an air elemental. If you're being all stormy.
Yeah, I'm casting lightning down on them. So if there's anything you can kind of combine with that.
My only worry is like if I get down there and start clobbering. I can just sort of whirl through them as a whirlwind or whatever. That sounds like maybe like if
there's 200 of them. If you go down, you're down.
Yeah, I'm just wondering they wouldn't be able to grab me as an air elemental. Because that was my worry about other things. Was I thought if somebody gets lost down there, then there's a potential death or hostage situation. But they wouldn't be able to grab me as an air elemental, would they?
Can it? Yeah.
They would be able to grab you, but they might be able to hit you.
They'd be able to hit me.
Yeah, probably. Like you're still, you can still be damaged. Like air elementals aren't like a mark. Like you can't be, one of them couldn't like grapple you, like like wrestle you to the floor or anything because you're made of air. But they could still kind of like swish away at your form.
Just looking to see if there was something I could do that would help benefit the storm, but not really. That's the only other thing I could think is if I was something that flew around, I could maybe add to it, but I don't know.
Anything particular? I
just
feel like
it might be worth having two of us there just in case something goes wrong and you get shot out the sky or whatever.
True. You can join if you want. I wonder if if there might be things you can do for the army, like in the forest, to like slow them down or.
Yeah, I could overgrow the land. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it difficult terrain.
If there's like a trail, you could like block it off or something.
Yeah, I can do that. I can make sort of difficult terrain. I can grow things as much so that it would just take them longer to get through.
Yeah, that could probably be more useful.
Okay.
Because I don't intend on like attacking them, just slowing them down. Really. Well, slowing them down by attacking them, but
I get you, right? So we're just going to sort of slow them down as much as.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll go on ahead. I'll fly on and have a wee look as a wee bird and see if I can figure out like where the best bit to. You know what I mean? If we could, even if it funnels them a different path, that's easier for you to hit the storm.
Yeah, totally. I could like funnel them into your path with my storm.
Yeah. And then they're stuck.
Yeah, then they're stuck. All right, cool. That sounds like a plan. We'll do that then.
Sure. Okay. So Rurak is gonna summon a storm and hassle them with that, and then Raffin, your plan is to scout where? Sorry.
I was hoping to sort of fly around just as a wee bird or whatever and sort of scout to look for where the army, because basically that's the plan. If I can look for suitable terrain that I can cast the grow plants thing that makes it makes the terrain difficult.
Sure. Okay.
I'm looking for opportunities, if you see what I mean.
Sure. Okay. So the most obvious terrain that would be easily overgrowable is the kind of foresty bit that you guys are heading towards. You could overgrow. It depends on the range of the spell, because, like, that map is on scales of miles. So, like, there is this kind of central path section that they'd have to go through, which would be a bottleneck if there was a way for you to do something there. But that's obviously quite big. So I'm not sure how possible that is. If you have anything for that.
I'm just trying to see. The area is. What does it say? 100-foot radius.
Okay, so that's like a tiny portion of one of these hexes then, because the hexes are 3 miles
right.
across.
So it's not going to be much use really at all.
Just having a look to see if there's anything. Yeah, there's nothing super obvious on, certainly nothing on that kind of, in terms of that kind of dimension. Unless you were doing something like, putting, like, overgrowing like a 100-foot area, like, directly in front of where they're about to walk into, so that they then have to, like, kind of turn and go around, and if you're doing that like multiple times, that could probably slow them down. But also with that kind of amount of people, they might just sort of like trample through something. If it was overgrown, it depends. It's kind of difficult to say. But let me have a look here. So Rurik, you are flying above the clouds and activating your sphere to try and zap where they are. Mm-hmm. Sure, okay. So, I mean, if you're flying above the clouds, initially they will, there might be the occasional arrow that flies your way, but it's certainly nothing that's going to hit you at that kind of range. And, and you'll be able to keep it positioned over them and slow them down a bit.
Yeah, just a general slowing down, not trying to do any particular bits of damage anywhere.
Sure, okay.
If I can, it'd be great to try and overshot the lightning to the east, so that I can kind of funnel them towards hugging the mountain edge and towards the path that Raffin's going to block off.
Sure,
if
okay,
I can, if you kind of get me, blocking off the eastern side that they can march through.
Okay. Yeah, you'll probably find that works quite well.
Okay.
And they will kind of, if we're just thinking about it. So what would probably be obvious to Rurak is that if when you're inside the storm, you can't really see the edges of it particularly well when you're inside a storm. But when you see a storm in the distance, you can definitely, like, one that you're not inside of, you can definitely see kind of where it starts and where it ends. So if you had a storm in the distance ahead of them, they might kind of move to avoid it. If you have a storm that's over them and actively slowing them down, they might not be aware of their surroundings enough to really kind of be aware of where, because it's on like a 3-mile radius or whatever. So it's like this hex plus this one and this one and this one is all like a that kind of area.
Right. Yeah.
If that makes sense. So, if you're in that, you probably can't really tell where it starts and where it finishes, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's up to
that's
you
fine.
if that changes your plan or if you want to do anything with that information.
I suppose then I'll keep the center of the storm like a bit away so that they have, or can I have the storm be going around in the whole area, but just have the lightning strike in like one side of it?
Probably, yeah. You're a
Yeah.
cleric. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, there's that will probably affect the route they choose to take.
Mhm.
Amir, you're standing at the top of the mountain, ready to bomb them. Is that right? With a landslide.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, wait. There's no rush. I'll wait a few hours and see where the closest bit they're gonna pass through is gonna be. I was thinking using fireball, but I can also use the spell storing thing. So can I have a couple of fireballs and then set them off at the same time as I cast one?
Yeah, for creating a landslide.
Ah,
Yeah, sure, yeah.
cool. That's my plan.
Okay. So yeah, otherwise, it seems like you guys are just kind of like waiting for things to progress. So things do. Like an hour goes by. They advance slowly along the road, or that way. And then people in the army that are moving. It's a fairly uneventful hour. People are just kind of discussing things. Everyone is still a bit kind of shaken after everything with the spy yesterday. They continue marching, and another hour goes by. It's starting to get dark now. So you guys are kind of here now. In fact, I don't really need this one. Get rid of that. So yeah, there is a kind of a decision point for Naren and Sargar about whether they are going to march through the night in the decreasing daylight and increasing risk, or whether you're going to stop and camp for the night like Balex and kind of some of the others are sort of like kind of needing to know what to tell their men.
Can I talk to Samar?
Sure, yeah.
Just see what he thinks.
I don't know, sir. It seems a lot like we'll be lucky to avoid some kind of confrontation anyway, so we might as well be well rested for it.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult to traverse in the dark anyway. Okay. Thank you. I'll talk to Naren.
I mean, of course, I'm sure whatever decision you make will be the right one, and the men will obviously stand by it. That would be my personal feeling.
Okay. I think I agree with you. What do you think, Naren?
If you come to find Aaron,
Yes.
sounds like you've already made up your mind, so sure.
I mean, you could
I'll
convince me of the other one if you think of the other one.
have my men set up watches, strong watches overnight, and see if I can get some scouts to try and get more accurate locations of the enemy.
Yeah.
While the rest sleep.
I'd like to scout during the night.
You're
Sure.
exhausted.
But can I scout on my griffin?
Ooh.
I don't think that's the wisest idea, to be honest.
Be
You
quieter.
saw Haraphan get shot down.
But I have a griffin.
Does spectral eagles glow?
No. I doubt he glows.
Me? I don't think I glow.
No, it's a spectral griffin, right?
Oh,
It's not just a regular ass
things, yeah.
griffin.
You would think that would glow.
It's not
It's
spectral. It's a spirit.
It's,
Angelic
It's
griffin.
got to be a bluey glow thing, like, you know, like dead Jedi.
It doesn't say anything about glowing in the spell.
Wouldn't you want it to glow? Isn't glowing better?
Oh, I want to
not in
be
this situation.
invisible. Or as least visible as I can be. I'll just scout on foot if you don't think I should go on my griffin.
I don't think you should go at all. The commanding officer going and scouting alone in the dark, possibly on a griffin.
He's
Like,
may or may
better
not
on a
glow.
griffin.
To be honest, I feel like this dinosaur plan has infected your head with stupid plans. Just get some rest.
You leave
I
the
was
dinosaur
well-rested
plan
for
out of
tomorrow.
this.
I was not pro the dinosaur plan.
It doesn't matter. I think it is better that the commander is rested and ready to lead the men tomorrow.
Right.
What do you want scouted? I can go and scout. That can be a non-glowy horse. Or like a duck.
You know what could be a cool idea is if there is some way to like figure out where the enemies are keeping their food supplies and wiping it out.
That still involves like days to take action. We don't really have days.
I mean, it just takes one person and a bomb.
I mean, for them to starve, though, will take days.
That's a lot of people to feed, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't this army also just like it didn't have breakfast for like
Yeah.
5 minutes too late, and
If they
people
don't,
started getting pretty hectic.
they're not going to be good at fighting if they're hungry.
I think it's a good idea.
I know I'm pretty bad at doing stuff when I'm hungry.
Have a Snickers.
We could make the bird invisible. Then that would be, we could swoop in, blow up their kitchen, leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try
Or
having
we could just
visibility.
poison them with mushrooms.
Or we could just poison them with mushrooms. You
That was
know,
my plan
there
all
are
along.
there are options here.
Or we could go extreme here, and since the army that's following behind us isn't much greater than us, we could possibly do a night raid. Hope that they set up camp and then just attack them all while they're sleeping.
This army's following us, yeah.
One of them, yeah.
Can't we lead them to terrain that's suitable for us or advantageous for us? If they're going to follow us anyway. Like, so instead of scouting behind, maybe scouting ahead and finding, like, you know, if there's a pass or something we could lead them into and then marking them.
Yeah. But if we can successfully track back and get them while they're sleeping, a lot of them won't be wearing their armor.
That is certainly true, also.
But it might be a bit late, I don't know.
I've just checked. I do have the invisibility spell, so me and Rurik could go blow up their food supplies.
Yeah.
That's
Is-
absolutely, yeah. That could totally happen. Rack's in the air right now.
Mhm.
Sanding stone. You
Yeah,
could-
you've got the phone.
yeah.
Is Mio still on the other
Left side.
hill
Yeah.
Yeah.
watching down, yeah?
To be
Mhm.
fair, it's Sorth's idea, so you gotta find a way
Yeah.
to get the idea from Sorth to Muir to Rurik.
Mio will see though if that army sets up camp though.
Oh, that's true.
So we'll know if they're gonna push round all night or
Yeah, if they're pushing around all night, then there's no point doing food.
That's true.
no. If they're pushing round all night, then I would strongly kind of opt for the night raid so we can push back the other way. Hopefully without them knowing.
Not a bad idea.
But I don't know. But if they are going to push through and not sleep, then I imagine the other army wouldn't either. I don't know. We need to see.
Yeah, go have a seat. Well, if they're doing that, if they are camping, then it might be worth avalanching the other people again, because then night raid. Actually, no, never mind. I'm just talking.
I guess
So this is
when
where
it
we need
reaches an appropriate.
to ninja them.
Yeah,
Malvern would be a
it
good
kinda
person
is.
to have.
I guess we wait until it reaches a time when it would be appropriate to set up camp, but instead of setting up camp, we just have everyone take an extended rest while people go back and scout to see if the people following us are setting up camp. Yes, that's the plan.
Okay, so you're so right now you're not stopping. You just keep going until you have further information. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Mura, you're standing on the mountainside. Yeah, you're really cold. Um, it's the middle of winter. You're standing on top of a mountain. You know, you're freezing your arse off now. You know, the sun's going down. Temperature's dropping. Visibility is dropping. You can see there are below you. I don't think I moved them. So they're hugging the mountain. They're kind of slightly closer than that, but I can't move them because they kind of just snapped an X, obviously. So they're mostly there. They're not quite as far as there. They're kind of sort of in the middle. And you're kind of at the point where you're like, if it gets much darker than this, you're not really going to be able to keep a track of them and where they are moving, if that makes sense. Like, so, and you're not sure if they're going to get any closer. So, like, now is kind of possibly the best time for an avalanche. Like, they might get closer at some point, but it might also be difficult to tell. So, you might wind up sending an avalanche towards no one. You're muted.
I knew that. Right. Yeah, that sounds go with the element of surprise. Giant fuck off avalanche. That looks like a pretty sheer cliff face. That crude drawing, but yeah. Oh, wait,
Sure.
did you say they're stopping or are they keeping going?
Give us a perception check.
Oh, I'm so good at those. A whole +0. Let's
Yeah.
normal. Oh, 17. +6. Why the fuck not?
Okay.
I see, so good.
You can see they don't look like they're showing any signs of stopping.
You're okay. Boom, baby. Let's...
Oh,
Sure. Okay. So how are you triggering this avalanche again?
So I
button?
can store 2 spell. Actually, I can store 12 a day, but that seems like a bit much. So it's 2 second level fireballs, and then I'm gonna just yeet 4th level fireball at them and hope they'll just blow up. They're kind of on the. They're wedged in the cliff face. I assume I use spider climb or something and just jammed with it.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Roll me a d100.
84.
84. Okay. Yeah. So have you got like a detonator, or is it all like how do you what does it look like when you trigger it? So
Might actually just have a really long, grenade, like a grenade that's on a really long piece of string. There's like.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So you're up there on the mountain, kind of teeth chattering, looking down, and you go, and and there's like there's a beat, and you're like, is it gonna go off? And then there's like this big explosion, and you can hear the starts of a rumbling, that begins to, like a big chunk of rock, it's kind of difficult to get perspective on it. But a big chunk of rock kind of gets like blasted out of the mountainside and kind of like chunks down it and like starts to build up speed. And you can see below they obviously like it's starting to get dark and there's this big fiery explosion goes off. So they obviously they look up and they notice it, and you see they start to kind of move away. But your avalanche, this big chunk of rock begins to pick up speed and picks up additional debris, knocks other stuff loose, and you see this big sweeping pile of rock and snow. It's not as big as the one that you were under, or the one that you had to escape from, but it's it's a pretty respectable landslide you've triggered, and it goes fleeing down the mountainside. And there's this big crash into the road. At this distance, you're like not really sure. Like you can hear a lot of noise, so you're like, I'm pretty sure that did something. It either you can't really get much of a damage report out of it. They're still down there, so you've not like wiped them all out or anything. But you've definitely caused them some kind of distress. Some of them might be gone. It's sort of difficult to tell, but you're like you look at it and you're like, going pretty well, Definitely did
84 out of
something.
100. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
There's
the
some room for improvement, you think? Roughly about 16% optimization window.
2 stars and a wish,
To start, yeah.
Ring, 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 ring. Ring, ring, ring,
Nice
ring.
shot. That
Oh,
was great.
thank you. Thank you. I think I got some of them. Can I get a lift? It's fucking freezing up here.
It's a bit chilly, isn't it? Okay,
It
yeah,
is,
let's
it
go.
is.
Let's go then. Right,
Cheers.
cheers. How is the view from up top as we kind of fly back down?
You mean just in general, or are you looking at something specific?
At the damage that Muir caused.
Oh, the damage. You can see they're in disarray. There's still a lot of them. From your perspective, you can definitely see that it's like some of them have been taken out by. You're not sure whether that's killed or knocked unconscious or they've got a broken leg or whatever. Some of them you're looking at that and you're like, well, those ones aren't going to turn up for a fight either way. You can still see that there's probably still like at best it's maybe like 10% of them have been affected by this, but obviously that's probably going to cause some morale damage and things like that as well. There might have been some stores under there,
Can I
not that
Calm
bad.
down.
the morale damage? Can I try to add to the morale damage?
Sure, yeah. What are you going to do?
Remember that big symbol of Mark X that I made?
Uh-huh.
Can I do the same thing, just like in the sky, just like under the storm cloud, just big,
Sure, yeah.
like Mark X sign?
Yeah, so, as you're flying down, you kind of point up to the sky, and then, inside the storm cloud, there's this, like kind of peal of thunder, and this kind of, like, white, crackling blue symbol emerges in the cloud of the Mark X symbol, and then you can hear down below, like, you can sort of see a couple of people, like, fighting, and there's a lot of, like, kind of cursing and shouting, and you're like, they got the message. You're pretty confident.
All right, that works.
Okay, so that was a nice touch.
Cheers. I think that's what Darren and Zorgar would want. I don't know.
Should have done a giant middle finger.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That would have been morale damage? Morale damage.
Got him. Yeah, I'll go pick up Muir.
Sure.
What's Muir looking like on the tip of the mountain?
Probably just.
Yeah, I mean, what's Muir's clothes like?
Well, she probably didn't pack her jumper because tropical island or whatever, Mediterranean, so probably ill-equipped, to be honest.
Sure. Yeah, you can see her hand warmer device is like flickering.
Oh,
that's
like
not good.
All right, come here.
Oh, thank God.
Jump on, in between.
Oh.
Gareth, I don't know how Red Dragonborn work, but you have fire breath, right? Can you make it warm? I don't know. Is that a thing you can do?
She says we're not magic.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I can. She kind of like do something uncomfortable. There's this kind of like light begins to emanate from it, kind of like looks at beer, kind of like breathes on her hand a bit, like just kind of like exit, like blows, like. It's kind of as a weird experience, Mir.
I'm not sure Muir's any more happy after this.
Like there is a bit of extra
Warmer,
warmth,
but more uncomfortable.
but also it's got a kind of like it's got like kind
Oh,
of like
fire
a stale,
flame.
like a breath kind of effect to it,
Well, that was lovely.
How was your evening?
Oh, just fine. Did my favorite thing. Flying with wings, making a storm.
Myself.
Yeah, it's good. How was yours?
I think I did a solid avalanche, but to be honest with you, it's been ruined by how fucking cold it is up here. So, the sooner we get down, the better, gotta be honest with you.
Okay, well, let's go then. And we
We go.
beat down the mountain, diving, glide diving.
Yeah, Mir doesn't get any warmer.
Let's see.
You can hear it. It's kind of you can feel frost forming on your eyebrows. And yeah, you arrive back with the main host of the army. Do you alight anywhere in particular, or is there a welcoming party for you guys or anything like that?
As dramatically in front of Naren as possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the soldiers kind of let them go, "Ugh!" And then there's this like updraft as Wings lands, and he kind of preens himself, and then he says, "Now off, all of you, off!" Kind of ruins the moment.
I'll announce that through our combined efforts, the 8th Legion has been slowed. Mura managed to take out. God, how many did you take out?
More than 10.
More than 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron's probably going to
Hey.
at least check how she is and also get an actual report.
Okay. Well,
Aaron, I want real reports with numbers in them.
Well, it was cold, sir. We were above the cloud line. We're at some of the storm. I expect it will have slowed their progress. They certainly seemed harried by it. And then Mirror detonated a segment of the mountainside approximately 15 minutes ago, which turned into a landslide that, by our best guess, seems to have impacted some of the Legion and will have slowed their progress, as well as injuring or possibly killing some of them.
that's about the size of it.
Thank you.
That was a good sum up. Nice one, Gareth.
Bang up shop, Gareth.
Thank you.
Oh, Naren, I've been doing a big old Markex symbol to try and demoralize the enemy. You want me to keep doing that?
I don't like that you're using my clan to demoralize people.
Okay, that's fair, but
You're ruining our reputation forever. I feel if you use it in that kind of manner.
okay, not demoralizing, but trying to let him know who dealt the hand.
You're also aware
Calling
that
card,
is
sir.
No.
I do like a calling card. I'm a fan. Fuck it.
You're a fan? All right. No, keep it going then. I figured your brother's a black dragonborn, right? I figured if we have a white symbol, that's sort of like juxtaposing. I don't know if the symbol is.
I like your artsy approach to this war, Rick.
Okay, that's fair.
The contrast, though.
Contrast.
It's symbolic.
Right
Yeah.
now, I need some way for one of us to stealthily go back and see if the army that's following us is slowing down at all to make camp tonight.
The 8th aren't slowing, sir. I forgot to mention that. They appear to continue being marching.
Probably means the ones behind us won't slow either, which means if we stop to camp, they'll attack us during the night. But to make sure, I want someone to go back and check.
I can stay up there for a while.
How expensive is it to be turned into gas again? Raffen? Would it be a waste?
to turn into gas again.
Like last time, we turned into little clouds and we flew about.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm trying to remember how we did that.
And is it cheaper if you just do it to one, or does it not matter?
How did I turn?
Windwalk or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Windwalk. Yeah. Hold on.
How many casts of that spell do you have?
There's a sixth
Sixth
level. So
Is that our highest?
no, I think we can do 7 now.
Oh, so we can put people through a tree and windwalk.
Yeah. So yeah, up to 10 creatures I can see within range.
All right.
Okay, maybe do a quick scouting run.
I can just fly over as a wee bird or something like that and scout
That would
way.
also work and be cheaper, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to do that, if you just want to go back as a wee bird and see if they're slowing at all, and maybe go set up camp, or if they're just pushing on.
If you can cast windwalk, do you want to just take 10 people to the new camp as well?
Not a bad idea.
We might. Yeah, normally I feel that's a great idea, and we maybe should have been doing that day by day. But right now, when we're maybe going into a fight,
You don't want to
Because
lose any more
Splitting
numbers?
people's maybe
yeah,
not.
we're already at a disadvantage.
All right. So I'm wondering, like, is there a point in fighting, or shouldn't we just be focusing on getting out?
We're focusing on getting out as much as we can, but a fight might be inevitable.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
So, Praffen, you are going scouting, is that right?
I am indeed.
Sure, okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm crafting plans of how we could not poison, but kind of poison their water supply so that they get really sick and then they can't fight.
Sure, okay.
I'm just spitballing ideas at people who listen.
I'll
I could
listen.
probably-
With no real actual plan of how we would do it.
How would you poison their water supply, sort of?
I don't know,
Oh,
but you
poison
guys
the water
have a
tower.
lot of stuff.
I don't got mass poison. Not my speciality.
You have any hallucinogenic stuff? Perhaps?
Some.
Just
Oh.
looking for a dealer mid-war.
Can I have some?
Maybe.
That's
How much?
interesting.
You're asking.
Well, we could potentially get them high.
Enough.
That was my plan for the mushrooms. Sneak in, put some crazy mushrooms in their soup. Then we would need to drop big dinosaurs. They'd just assume there was big dinosaurs dropping on them.
They're like, there's giant insects everywhere.
Yeah.
Would
Will they
definitely slow
reach
them
us
down.
before they get to the jungle, the forest? Or will we get to the forest before they reach us?
Is that me question?
I suppose more of a Naren question if he's able to answer it.
No one had his headphones off. What?
That's all good. Naren, will they reach us before we get to the forest?
Who?
The enemy Data Legion?
That's a Muir question. I didn't see
Uh,
them.
Muir
Ah, hello.
as well. Both of you. Would they reach us before we got to the forest?
I think that is a DM question because you saw where they were while you were on the bird.
I suppose, yeah. That is
So
a
we
question.
probably have to roll for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the pace that you guys observed, the fact that they're not stopping, you're pretty sure, you're pretty sure that certainly if you aren't walking through the night, they will get to the forest before you could do. You'll get to the forest sometime tomorrow afternoon, probably lunchtime. If you do walk through the night, it's kind of 6 and a half a dozen.
Okay.
Really. You're kind of going more south than you were, so you'll probably not come out. You might both be in the forest, but some ways away from each other. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to say. They're about they're about 4 hours walk away from the forest right now, so they'll be there. They could be at the foot of the hill by midnight.
Is there a main path through the forest?
Not as far as you're aware.
Naren, what do you think about letting Gek lead a few men and we get some traps made up? Some big traps.
That is supposed to be what Gek is doing now for the people behind us.
There's no one behind us.
What do you mean? There's a whole nother legion behind us.
Well,
You've forgotten about how a pincer maneuver works? There's 2 of them.
I suppose, but I don't really think they're their main problem right now. They're not going to catch us before the 8th catches.
We don't know that. We haven't seen them in a while.
That's true.
But maybe it would be good to send Gek ahead, but can I go check in on Gek?
Yeah, he's he's directing people. He's roped in other lackeys. He's like, yeah, no, place rock there. No, more over. I pointed. I meant there. Pointed it. Put it there. No, it was better where it was. Put it back. Okay, thank you. And he kind of ordering people around. You can see he's kind of. There's some kind of contraption being built here. It looks like some kind of like falling rock, sliding rock thing. Like he's got a big pile of boulders, and then he's kind of like, "Well, think we can get one more?" And they're like, "I don't know. I think we can get one more. Get one more." And one of them goes, "Okay," and goes away. And he kind of says, "Narn, look at me thing."
Is it ready to go?
One more rock. Then it will be.
What does the thing look like?
Well, it's a big. They walk up, and they trip over the thing, and then rocks go, and they go and they die.
Okay.
Sounds effective.
Hopefully.
How long has it been since no one has kept to do this?
Oh, he's just been working steadily at it.
I'm just.
Oh, like you asked him about 2 hours ago. I made other one like this further down.
Oh, okay. So there is multiple.
Yeah, you said you didn't say just make one. If I make one, I would have gone way bigger, way better trap because only one.
No, you did well, Gek. Multiple is good.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps them on their toes. You might need to vary it up there because they might become used to this one.
I only have rocks to work with. There's only so many things you can do with rocks. Drop them on people.
How would you like to
roll them at people.
Taken down to the forest ahead of time and make traps in the forest?
Well, that would be more interesting. There's more things down there. I could dig holes. Holes are really good. Especially for Gek, because, I don't set off holes, but Narn would set off holes. The Zorgar would definitely set off holes.
Can I
splooter.
Go up to Naren? Be like, let's had a thought. Have 40 of your men work overnight, and they're the 40 that get to leave in the morning.
Okay. Work overnight doing what?
Making traps.
Making traps.
How many is 40?
Yeah.
Are they my cabin boys?
Kind of. 40 is a lot, Gek. Once again, though, that leaves if we do end up in a fight, we're 40 down. So Zorgar was supposed to be taking this responsibility off me, damn it.
I mentioned with Zorgar there as well. Zorgar's in the conversation.
Gek, how many traps do you think you could get set up overnight?
Depends what's for dinner.
We don't have a chef anymore. So, did you like what Payla made you?
It was okay, yeah. I bet she has sweet things hidden away. So if Gek had sweet things for dinner, or with dinner, he kind of looks at you, then probably loads.
What
Does
sweet things do you
Naren
like?
have any sweet things?
I don't know.
Does Naren know the whereabouts of any?
Do you have any of the thing? When we're in the big city, there's the place with the big man, and he has the cold milk.
He wants cake.
He wants ice cream.
Do you have any of that?
Uh,
'Cause that makes my brain go whoosh.
He wants ice
Think
cream.
of, I could have loads of traps.
Could you actually?
Yeah.
Would you accept an IOU? But I'll
What's that?
pay. I'll give you double that.
How much is double?
But
Is that not as much?
That's
it's
more than that.
what you get and what you get again.
So I get in 2 things, but only once. So I don't get a second thing.
Okay, so I can either offer you something that's okay sweetness now, or in the future I can give you, let's agree, 3 nights of sweet things with your food.
Sweet things that make your head go burr.
3 nights, but it's in the future. It's not
That-
now.
Gek understand. Gek maybe not make clear. The making the trap, I need the sweet things to make the traps because it makes me go like Zorgar says, brrr, you know.
Okay. I'll
It
see
gives
what
me
I
the
can
gives me the
do.
tremblers and the
He's saying
shakies.
he needs to get a sugar rush and needs to be hyper to make as many traps as possible.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's what I saying.
Does Rook still have that spell where he can make the awesome feast?
Oh wait,
That requires stuff. That requires things.
Ah,
Requires the 50
although
gold or something.
Naren does have. Okay, Naren. Traffin has good berry.
Hmm.
That could be really
Sounds
helpful.
sweet,
for this
that.
situation.
I also have like lovely feast or great big feast or who wants a feast or something like that.
Who
I
wants-
have
does
I have
12
great
people.
food and water.
Nice. That'd be awesome.
Heroes
that
feast.
make
There
cake
it is.
that-
Heroes feast.
It
You
costs
need to
money
have
to do.
Yeah, you need a bowl worth 1,000 gold pieces encrusted with diamonds or something.
Honestly, it doesn't say that in my thing.
Oh, okay. Jake,
Yeah.
Oh no, it does a gem encrusted.
could I make a roll to see if I have like a I don't know, I forget what to call them, just like a Suki sweet, just like caught in my beard somewhere that it's just
Sure.
forgot.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
Is it a wrapper
Roll a
or?
D100.
it deserves
Roll
better.
D100.
Yeah.
Okay. 46.
Yeah, you have like you noticed that a couple nights ago, and I'll just say that for later. Yeah, you've got like a dwarven sweet treat. It's like right in the, right up in there.
I got a little knife.
Is it like a butterscotch or?
Yeah,
it's
it's like a bar.
yeah, it's like the dwarven equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the hair that is with it is welded on. So it's like
passed
fuzzy.
it to it. I'll
It's
hand
nasty,
it to
man.
Gek and be like, tasty.
It's furry.
Oh no, tasty.
You gotta wash it off, man, first. Please. Oh.
No?
Fuzzy on my
Alright.
tongue.
Tastes good.
I'm sticky.
I think Zorgar will get some sweets for you.
Okay.
Does food and water create any food you want?
I'm not sure.
I
It
have a
says-
feeling food and water might be specifically bland.
Yeah, it says the food is bland. That's
Whoa,
what it
whoa, whoa,
does.
whoa, whoa. If we're thinking about casting Windwalk here, someone could go on a sweet run.
True. True. Ormond is nearby.
Fucking
Yeah? Just go
snack
load up
run
on sweets?
mid-war.
Why not?
Didn't you get some shinies from Ormond here?
I did. I got loads of shiny things.
Surely you could find the sweet version of shinies.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, that lady's house is empty and it had a really nice kitchen, so there'll be definitely some treats in there.
Actually, a viable option, to
Yeah?
be honest.
Yeah, if we're wanting to scout anyway, maybe see where their food supply is, where they're at, what they're doing. I could go get sweets, or someone else could go get sweets, to, you know?
Yeah. I'm not against this.
Any objections?
Any objections?
Oh, I don't object.
I'm
I
not
would like
confident.
Oh yeah, I'll
I
take
don't
a list and
object.
I'll see if I can get anything.
How does Windwalk work again? You turn into wind.
And
And-
you walk on the wind.
You walk on the wind.
You
Can
can go
you
in and
drop
out and being gassy, can't
and you pick up stuff.
Yeah, you can drop in and
Yeah.
out. That's how you're looted the shit out of that place.
Right. Okay. So you can drop it. You can collect things. Then you can go back into wind and come back to the party.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sounds
Yeah.
solid. I'm happy to go do that.
Yeah. And then, as I say, we can do some real important scouting while we're at it.
Because otherwise we're just using a 6th level spell to get cake.
I
Well,
mean,
Or defeat the troops. We like me and
No, not to feed the troops, just to feed the gek.
no. We bring the bag of holding with us. We get shit tons of sweets. Morale boost. You know, it's been a hard day. Someone got their tongue cut out. Sweets.
That was yesterday.
So people remember this shit for more than one day, Naren.
how much of a motivator is ale for Dragonborn?
Not
Works
as
for
much as dwarves.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Also,
you know,
What would be the
Bad
motive for
idea.
Dragonborn?
Yeah.
I also feel like giving them ale when we're maybe in danger isn't the best idea.
on a cliffside,
Aaron
you know.
says while drinking a bottle of rum.
I have another idea.
Mhm.
Go on.
We need a tree to be able to transport people, right?
Uh-huh.
So we dig up a tree. We take it back up here where we have the high ground, and then we build walls around
walls.
us. While every day we're funneling people out the tree while we keep people on the walls.
That might wait. Hold on a minute. I've got that spell that can make it's like tiny hut but bigger. If we put a tree in there,
Big hut.
big hut, tiny big hut. We put
Medium
a tree in there. We hunker down. Might not be a terrible idea.
As we have a pretty big advantage up here, and they're going to follow us up here, and then they're going to have the high ground. Then we're also going to be pincered by this other team. We
Raph,
just stay up here. We can shit them
So what?
down the cliff.
Yeah.
Is that how that
Assuming-
works? Can we just pick up a tree and move it up here, and you can use it for your teleporting?
Yes, dig it up and plant it
don't
again.
know. Digging up a tree's a fair whack of work though. If it was going to be a tree big enough to use for
Uh,
Aye.
superhighway.
I
Do you know what I mean?
don't
Like, if you- like-
remember.
If there's a tree big enough that a person could pass through it, then think where the roots would go miles.
I don't remember how this works, but can the staff of Arbor not transform back into a tree?
That destroys the staff.
Yeah.
Though,
Does it? Mm.
it doesn't
Yeah,
destroy the staff. You just do it
doesn't it?
Wait.
because it was
Oh.
it was a tree, and then you took it out of tree form.
Yeah,
It was
if I
just a
can
staff.
break it in half and like cause like a big
That
explosion or
busts
something.
the staff.
Oh,
Wait,
Yeah,
okay.
but if he just turns it into a tree,
Can you
Can
just
you
turn
then
the
just
staff
take it
into a
back?
tree?
So when
I
we're
believe
done with
so.
the tree, you could just take the staff back, and that
Yeah.
would get rid of the tree, or would the tree still be there?
Gets rid of the tree.
But,
But
he
he still has
will
to
just
tap.
do that at will with no expense.
Let me read the bullshit stat.
Yeah, I was going to say because it's kind of
Wait, if that's the
Like-
thing, why haven't we been doing that every day?
There's a lot of spells, I wonder.
There's a lot of
We have a griffin?
I would guess if
Yeah,
the
there's
if
a
the
lot of
idea is,
spells to keep track of. It's hard.
but I
We have
think
a
if
sorcerer now.
Yeah.
I think though if it's maybe not in the spirit of that spell, which is a sort of implies a sort of connection. So you know what I mean, the roots of the tree connecting to all the other plants, all that sort of thing. So I don't know. I mean, I suppose it'd be DM's discretion, but
It's not a big enough tree.
Oh,
It's a 5-foot diameter trunk, which is not like it's,
lame
it's
tree.
a standard tree, but it's not like it's not a large tree.
That's stinky.
That's enough to transport 20 people a day?
It's like it's a medium tree, is what it counts as, which I don't think you can even use the spell with.
too small for fat hobbitses.
Damn
Pretty
it,
much.
Alba.
Could we use enlarge on the tree?
Probably, yeah, probably.
Solutions!
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then we have to fortify and day by day defend this fort with less and less people.
Exactly, it's the people in the last few runs that are going to be.
Because, yeah, the last day will be 10 people.
That's 10 people are faster moving than 200.
Those 10
people
people
is
we've
how many you
probably...
can cast Windwalk on. You
Exactly.
can cast Windwalk on 10 people, so the last day will be 50 people. Holding off.
Can we do
400.
Windwalk and the tree thing at the same time?
I don't know if I can do
I think-
Windwalk and the tree thing at the same time.
Yeah, because it's the same kind of spell slots. I think they're all 6th level.
Do we have some kind of spell storing thing? I'm sure we do.
Not
sure
that
if
high.
it has
It only
Ah.
goes up to 3rd level or something.
Ah, okay.
But hang on, you have 7th level spells. That means you can cast the 6th level spell twice.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's how
but
you've been doing things
that's
so far.
what he's
That's what we
been
do.
doing already.
Sorry, my mistake.
But
That's why we have to do
Windwalk
both.
is 7th level. No, it's
Right.
not. No, it's just the way I read this is 6th level.
We all have super magical shit where we could. You guys can transform into like rock people and shove up the earth, and we can make it a like little bowl for us where they can't even get in. I can put ice down the side of the walls. They can't even
Mhm.
get in even more. Do you guys have like wall of stone magic? You know, those are things.
Yeah.
Make a little bit of stone. Not a
I've
lot.
got wall of
Holdout
stone, I
gets the
believe.
siege for days.
Wall of Thorns. I'm sure
We
I've got Wall of Stone. Wall of
could-
Stone, there it is.
Perhaps go off the main track and like scoot into the mountains a little bit. I'm not sure if we're following a path or something.
Probably
Yeah,
not
why-
this stuff.
What if we just... No, because they're going to flank us if we stay in the mountains. That's why. They're chasing us on the mountains. Forgot about that part.
What do you mean?
We're getting chased by an army up on the
Yes.
mountain. So we can't stay in the mountain.
Yes, we can if we fortify it. We
Right.
take the highest point.
But, okay. Then we need a way of escape, which is
Do you think they brought siege weaponry with them?
No, but
No, but if
we
we
have the highest
spellcasters
point. Yeah,
and
it'll still
hundreds
be
of-
an uphill battle versus like
Plus, we can
400
roll things
people.
down the hill at them.
Yeah, spellcasters have very powerful magic. They have the numbers. I don't think any castle that we can build in a day or two will survive that, right? Unless anyone's withholding like,
Oh yeah, my secret
tough
castle spell.
yeah, I don't have that.
I thought I had a secret castle spell, but it doesn't stop people going through it. I thought it was just big tiny hut, but it isn't.
Oh, okay.
Either way, the other army's gonna like call in fast, so it's kind of like whether you want to have a position up here and a position down there.
I think mainly first, I just want to know if this army behind us is camping tonight. It's kind of
Well,
important.
I can fly back and check that, but I think Linda's right. We need to decide whether are we gonna stand and fight or try and disappear.
I'm glad I've taken a great role in this group already, but I'm sore if not little.
I know, so it was out my mouth before I realised.
This is
Well,
what I
we're
usually
gonna
do.
need a scout anyway, and Gek needs sweets, and we can go get sweets for the rest of the army.
Sweet.
So I say Windwalk.
I'll go.
I'm still fine with that. If anyone else wants
Go
to
for
join,
it.
that would mean we're more efficient and we can get more stuff.
Mm.
If we can get enough food to feed a good amount of people, then that would be awesome. But
Yeah,
that would
'cause
require
there's no
more.
point. There's no point one person going if Windwalk default can do up to 10 people. You can have 10 people carrying supplies, so send 10 people.
Well, we can have one person go check on the behind army, one person go check on the other army, and then everybody else go get sweets or supplies, whatever.
Just supplies, yeah.
See the
Sweet.
Sweets
Windwalk
involved.
thing. How far away are you going for the supplies?
Ormonde, probably?
Because the Windwalk will get you there fast, but you won't be able to Windwalk back with supplies.
No,
That's what we did last
Carrying
time.
thing?
Was that?
That's what we did last time, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, you're gaseous. How would we? You wouldn't be able to carry anything.
You can transform in and out.
Hmm. You can will yourself back into your physical form and then will yourself back into Windwalk form.
Oh, okay.
But it takes some time, I think, is the wording of the spell. I believe it takes like a minute of.
I think so, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's what we're doing, but Naren is going to stay with the troops.
Yep,
And
okay.
not
Okay.
be cloudified.
Right.
Who's coming?
Sweet
I'm going.
run. Let's go.
I'll come.
Also,
Oh yeah, sure. Come
establish-
with.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Zoga, are you going?
All right.
Okay.
Paraffin, or is Paraffin more useful here?
I mean, as many powerhouses as possible are more use here. If it's just picking up supplies, it doesn't require a lot of power.
How
Okay.
dare you? But okay.
I think Paraffin, you could help out with setting up traps, maybe in the forest, making it difficult for them to get through there.
Well, we need you to return before we can do that.
Okay, that's true. No, Paraffin
no,
can start doing that
no,
whilst we're away.
I can't. It says
No?
you and up to 10 willing creatures. So
Yeah.
where I cast Windwalk, I'm Windwalking.
Oh, okay,
No.
well, we'll come
You
with
could
them.
just revert back, like for a minute, and then you're back to you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's true.
Sure.
Yeah, but then that's a wasted person.
It's
Well, it says
Yeah,
you.
We
we
have
and
a
not
bag.
the
We
10.
have
yeah, but it's still one less, isn't it?
we have a bag of holding.
we're not using the full 10. It's fine. There's only like 4 or 5 of us going. So
Okay.
Is the
Going on a
plan then
major
to
supply
fortify and sort of wait it out, and that's why we need supplies?
No, we just need supplies to feed Gek, raise morale. A couple people going scouting. That's it. So I'll have the 2 elite people will also go into cloud form.
You can hear a
They'll go
ruckus
scout out the
from further
armies.
back in the army.
Oh god.
It's about to get
Christ, already have to
sweet.
deal with this shit, and now it's going to the back to check out what's going on.
You can see 2 of your 8th legionaries are there's like a crowd is formed around 2 of your guys that are like beating the snot out of each other.
Gonna jump in there and break it up.
Sure, as you do so, you hear one of them say, "I saw you with him. You're in on it too. You're a spy just like he was." And the other one's like, "No, I'm not." You kind of break them up, and they kind of both sort of stop and kind of adjust their uniforms.
What is the meaning of this? Why? We're busy.
He's a traitor. I'm not.
Okay, well, there's an easy fix. Rurak, get in here.
Am I still
No.
there?
all right.
And you can be wherever you want, man.
Right. You,
Zone of truth, both of them.
I was
No.
gonna say. I was gonna...
you both mind what happened last time someone didn't. Last time someone resisted the zone of truth. So just be truthful.
That's one hell of a threat.
Just letting them know. Just letting them know. I'll cast zone of truth, Jake.
Sure. Yeah, neither of them resist.
Alright. Okay. So, are you traded?
No.
Are you
No.
spies?
No. No.
No. Do either of
Have any-
you have any allegiance to the deserter?
No. One of them says he was my friend.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Do either of you intend on leaving this army?
No.
Do either of you intend on betraying this army?
No.
All right then, we have no problem. Now shake hands.
They can flex their.
Say you're sorry,
Sorry.
and say you won't do it again.
I won't do that again.
Good
They
lads.
didn't tell the
Right,
truth.
see
Did
you
they
later.
both say that?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Rurik.
Just stare at each other.
Don't worry.
Efficient.
That sorted out quick.
Aye, well,
We don't have time for all this crap. Just get going now. Running out of time.
Right,
I'll
to
just-
You
Ormond.
guys all go to Ormonth, but also we should use all 10 slots because it's stupid not to. So also turn 2 of the elites and how many slots? Have I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of the elites and 3 other. Can I get what's his name who leads the Black Barbs? Oh, and
Orlin.
also fucking Zazen.
Sure. Yeah.
Get gone, Zazen. Become a cloud.
Okay, sir.
I'll have Zazen go scout out the guys behind us and report back as soon as he has some intel.
Sure.
I'll have the leader of the Black Barbs go to the faraway legion, and then I'll have the rest go to Ormonth as well to stealthily collect supplies and then return.
Okay, hang on.
Maybe dispatch one of them to the forest ahead actually to make sure it's all clear.
So Sarzan is scouting the Legion behind you. And then where were you sending the other ones?
Zazen's boss is going to go to the Far Legion. I'm also going to give all the troops who haven't done this before a rundown, like their gases form. They can still be seen, so still try and stay high enough or out of sight enough.
Armin's like, what the fuck?
Then there should be 3 left after that, right? So I'll send the Elite 2 to Ormonth, and I'll send 1 other soldier down to the forest ahead just to scout out.
Sure. Okie dokie.
Maybe assign the 2 that are going to Ormonth to stick with Muir. Stick with that cloud there.
Okay, sir.
oh no way. Jake.
Yeah.
Do I have 7th level spells?
Yeah, you're required.
And do I have access to Xanathar's Guide?
Yeah, I've got that book.
Do I have access to Temple of the Gods?
Yeah, I mean, if it's in the book, what the fuck does that do?
That's why.
Is that the build a castle spell?
Yay! Yeah!
I had a little look at 7th level cleric spells because I didn't have any equipped. That was
Just build a fortress.
I haven't read it yet. So let me find out what it does.
Go on.
Oh,
Oh, you could just make a temple. Forgot about that.
The interior of the temple is enclosed by a floor, walls, and roof, with 1 door granting access to the interior and as many windows as you wish. Only you and any creatures you designate when you cast a spell can open or close the door. The temple's interior is an open space with an idol or an altar at one end. You decide whether the temple is illuminated, where the illumination is bright, lit, or dim. The smell of burning incense fills the air. The temperature is mild. The temple possesses types of creatures you choose to cast whenever you cast a spell. Choose 1 or more of the following: celestial, elemental, physical, undead. If a creature of the chosen type attempts to enter the temple, that creature must take a charisma saving throw. On a failed, it cannot enter the temple for 24 hours. Even if a creature enters the temple, the magic there hinders it whenever it makes an attack roll, all that kind of stuff. In addition, the sensors created by divination spells can't appear inside the temple. The creatures within can't be targeted by divination spells. Finally, whenever any creature in a temple regains hit points from a first level or higher spell, the creature regains additional hit points equal to your wisdom modifier, max minimum of 1. The temple is made from an opaque magical force that extends into the ethereal plane, thus blocking ethereal travel into the temple's interior. Nothing can physically pass through the temple's exterior. That's great. It can't be dispelled by dispel magic, and anti-magic field has no effect on it. A disintegrate spell destroys the temple instantly. Casting this spell on the same spot every day for a year makes the effect permanent.
Well, that's
So
convenient.
The only thing is, how big is the temple? Enough to fit 130 people?
Up to 120 feet on each side. It lasts for
Big.
24 hours. So it's really like a last ditch, like, okay, like we need to bunker up and get the last of our people out. So when it comes to it, I will cast Temple of the Gods when we are about to get surrounded.
Make sure you
And
remember it
give us
costs
safe
it
space.
takes an hour to cast.
It takes an hour to cast. It does.
So just
Okay.
make
A
sure
lot
you
faster
factor that
than
in.
building a house, so you
Yeah.
know.
It is. So
But
we
also,
found
surely if you line it up so you start casting it an hour before it drops, you could just get it to spring back up as soon as.
again.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
Oh.
can cast this over and over and not have it drop.
Yeah, we could just set up a fort, but
yeah.
Let's get that tree.
Yeah.
let's do all this shit first, all the scouting and supply grabbing.
I've seen
Told you,
Jake
great
really
idea.
like what he's reading.
Yeah, Jake does look a little bit
I mean, it's 5 to 10, you know. I mean. Okay, so those people that Naren has just outlined are going to the places that he has told them to go. Everyone else is going to Ormonth to buy supplies. Is that right? Okay.
Muir intends to sneak into a bakery, shove everything into the bag of holding, leave some money, and then leave again.
Okay. Resident Muir wants to rob.
Hey, I'm paying! I am paying! It's the middle of the night, nowhere's gonna
like
be
that
open.
diamond shop in Rell all over again.
Oh my god, I was drunk, okay?
Our diamond supplier. Oh, their poor door.
To be fair, we never really went back, did we?
We didn't. No.
Oh no, in
We were too
shame.
busy traveling.
He
Hey,
got
Jake,
robbed.
what's their name?
Hmm?
Their name, the diamond supplier.
Windweaver Jewelers.
Oh my god.
Damn,
Wow.
right off
What
the
the
top of your head.
fuck?
Cool.
So Muir's robbing a bakery.
I'm
the
paying!
Muir is robbing a bakery in exchange for money. What are the rest of you guys? What is your plans at Ormonth? Bear in mind, those of you that aren't Dragonborn will look out of place.
Yep.
Bear in mind,
Yep.
some of you that do look like Dragonborn will also look out of place.
I could fit in.
Yeah, Sarth will be fine. No one knows who Sarth is.
The main issue is it's the middle of the night, so nowhere's gonna be open. That's why I'm robbing a
That's a good
bakery.
Yeah,
I'm not just robbing it for the hell of it.
Muir, do you mind if Rurak tags along?
No, you come on, the more the
robbing
merrier.
effort.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're paying, we're not just taken, okay?
Well, I don't mind robbing a barracks.
Is there any 24-hour stores?
Not really.
Tesco's.
24-hour bakery?
Maybe.
Get a
Maybe.
surfboard while we're there, you know?
Gnarly waves.
Sick waves, bro. Are there gnarly waves in Ormonth, Jake?
I mean, probably, because it's quite
Nice.
close. Yeah, actually, there will be some, yeah.
Oh, bodacious, my guy.
Yeah, most
Are you
radical.
Dragonborn?
Radical.
Most bodacious.
Okay, so if Zarzan's going to scout and stuff like that, we'll probably stop there for the 10 o'clock. I'll get that stuff ready for next week. It'd be useful if you guys can outline your plan between now and next week. Get the discussion stuff that we'll probably wind up doing. We'll otherwise be doing in the middle of the session. It'd be useful to have that done ahead of time, so that I know what to get ready for and stuff like that, and keep stuff moving. But yeah, otherwise, if you watch the stream, cheers for watching. Me back next week. See you later.